Hello and welcome back to What I'm These Beasts, and today we're back with what I'm assuming is gonna be depression. Anyways, let's just get going. No faffing about this time. Sitting on a bed, the girl peers out of the window behind her. See rippling down to the waves, reflects the sunlight glitteringly. Brightness is enough to make one's eyes hurt if they look at it enough. She then moves her gaze somewhat to the side, looking down on the long beach one can see stretching out. Back in August, the area was flooded with beachgoers, but now that it's September, it's practically empty. The hustle and bustle is no more, with only the roars of the sea reaching her ears now. She spurns the urge to go and have the beach all to herself, plastering it with footprints. No doubt that would be an extremely exhilarating experience. However, it's precisely because it is something not likely to come true that it inadvertently escapes her mouth. Since she's had a streak of leaving the premises lately, they at long last forbade her from doing so. Though it isn't as though she was really allowed to in the first place. She, however, does not care and breaches the ban over and over, only to have her doctor and the nurses find out and scold her severely every time. Thanks to that, she is now confined to the premises of the hospital. Her hospital room isn't locked or anything of the sort, but she's no longer able to leave through the front entrance like she had been doing. She gets no further than the hallways before she gets spotted sharply, apprehended by the hospital staff that are by now very familiar with her. Hospitals are by no means a fun place to be. At 9 o'clock, it's lights out. Every single light in the building turns off with no exception. That was not the way when I was staying at the hospital. You're not allowed to use the television or radio after that, then either. And since there's no light, you can't read either. The boredom is so severe, she doesn't know what to do with herself at times. Like when I was in the hospital, there was like the common room, basically, for the patients that had light 24/7. So if you just wanted to go read or do something like that, you could just sit there instead. Even now, on such a bright sunny day, she has nothing to do. It takes its toll on her. Surely they'll at least let her go get some fresh air. Speaking of the hospital, it's near the sea, so when the sea breeze is strong, her hair ends up getting sticky. However, the view is like nothing else. Aside from the vast sea, you also have an unbroken view of Ibarigasaki's townscape. Needless to say, it's amazing. So the girl thinks maybe reading under the sun while surrounded by such scenery wouldn't be too bad. She decides to make for the lobby to go get herself a book. The girl puts down her feet she's been dangling along the bedside. She then tries to stand up, but her knees suddenly lose all strength. Without even any time to wonder what's happening, she falls back onto the bed. That as a signal, fever and weariness proceed to take over all of her body. She curses her bad luck. Today, the 3rd of September, is the day when all the students will be returning back to school from summer break. Incidentally, it also happens to be her birthday. Yet the only real person she has to tell her happy birthday is herself. So she wanted to at least have a little fun on this day as sort of a present to herself. This day having come, she adds yet another year to her age. That alone has meaning already. So even though she can't do anything but lie in bed, that's something to be happy about. Girl lays down her feverish body and slowly closes her eyes. I'm positive I'll be able to open my eyes again. While silently praying so, the girl grows to 19 years of age in her slumber. I was not expecting to actually get like a proper age. It does confirm though that good old Aoi, Chinami are 17. So congratulations, you sick fucks, you're all going to prison. Izagaki's going to the hospital after this?
はい。部活会議に出てから向かうと言っていました。
With our opening ceremony out of the way and longer than usual homeroom that followed too, we now find ourselves waiting for notification that our Astro Circle has successfully become a club. Thought Izagaki would come and let us know, but based on what Kosamicha has said, maybe not.
こももちゃん、まだ怪我治ってないの？
はい。姉さん、神社のお仕事を手伝っているときに間違って怪我した手を使うことも多くて。
Now stopping your usual work despite that injury, huh? I guess that certainly sounds like something you would do.
ですけど、今日にも包帯が取れるんじゃないかってお父さんは言っていましたから。
Guess we can rest easy now.
はい、心配はご無用です。
私は最初から心配なんかしてなかったけどね。
そんな麻生さんが私は大好きです。
小雨ちゃんのゆり相手がいないからってなんで私に迫ってくるの？
Well, regardless, it was all too obvious that also had in fact been worried too.
じゃあ久垣くんは部室に来ないのかい？
どうでしょう。病院の診察時間に間に合うようなら報告に来ると思うんですけど。
まだお昼だし、時間はたっぷりあるんじゃない？
Kosume's cell phone rings almost as if it's responding to Asuo's voice.
姉さんからのメールです。
なんだって？
テンクルは部になったから、それじゃあ。
とても淡白だね。
久垣くんらしいけど、喜ぶタイミングがなくなった感じだな。
部にならないよりはいいんじゃないでしょうか。
Right, still a cause for celebration, I think. A leisurely round of applause ensues.
本当はこももちゃんの目の前で歓声とかあげたかったんだけどな。
そうされたくなかったからメールで報告したのかもしれませんよ。
部になったということは久垣くんも正式に部員になったと思うんだけどね。
You know what I think? You know what I think is gonna be... Like, last part I said that it's most likely gonna mirror the situation with his mom and Shinami's dad. But... benefit of having learned from the previous generation, Mare is going to reap Yume's nightmare, and her nightmare is gonna be her sick body and weak constitution. So she's gonna be like completely healthy again. What if that's gonna be the case? So has Izakaki left already?
だと思います。早く包帯を取りたいって姉さんも言っていましたし。
Which probably means she made straight for the hospital right after their meeting was over. Alright, I gotta get going too, see you guys. As I get up, Asuo widens her eyes in surprise.
ようちゃん帰るの？
Yeah, a little something has come up.
せっかく部になったんだし、これから活動スケジュール立てようと思ったんだけど。
用事というのは姉さんですか？
Well,
久垣くんに何の用だい？
well, see, it's kinda like I've got things to make up for. I'm partly responsible for her injury after
病院
all.
まで同行するんですね。
久垣くんが心配というわけだね。
Are they mad?
新学期の初日からサボりですか？
Even the repeat offender of arriving late always attacks me. I won't leave tomorrow, I promise.
期待しないで待っていますね。裏切り者さん。
God fucking damn it, we're not in Komomo's route!
ひばり祭も控えているしね、裏切り者くん。
やれやれですね。裏切り者。
勝手に部活サボればいいじゃない。裏切り者。
What amazing loving clubmates I am blessed with. He's cocky! Catch up to his cocky in front of the school gate. Guess I didn't find her here. I was going to try calling her. Good thing I didn't have to do that.
小ヶ坂くん、部活してたんじゃないの？
Well, something came up.
私に用なの？
Yeah, Cosima told me you're heading to the hospital now. My head is annoying again. It was another case of extremely fucking terrible timing where I wanted to take a shower and my brother was already in there after my little sister had already taken a shower. So by the time he was done, yeah, the water was nice cold again. The curse of being the last to shower. So I did. I'm just gonna take a shower tomorrow morning instead.
却下。
I haven't even said anything yet.
どうせついてくるって言うんでしょ？
Catch on fast as always.
それはどうも。だから却下。
Why?
変に責任感じなくていいから。これは私が勝手に負った怪我なの。何度も言わせないで。
No matter how you look at it, that was my
違
fault.
う。私のせい。
It was mine.
私のせい。
I'm getting desperate at this point. Why the hell are we having a fight over who gets to be responsible? If we were blaming one another, yeah, that would be understandable, but doing the exact opposite is just flat out odd.
テンクル、部になったわよ。小雨から聞かなかった？
Yeah, she told me.
だったら部活に戻るべきでしょ？活動予定とか立てなくていいの？
I'm leaving that also in the others.
このままテンクルを辞めるんだったら生徒会に入ってもらうわよ。
I never quit on my life. I went about the student
無理
council.
やり誘うことはしないから。いやいや仕事されても困るだけだし。
Sorry.
そう思うんなら病院についてこないで。
Didn't expect she'd twist around like that on me. Okay, you win. I won't go alone.
最初からそうしてよね。まったく。
Izaki headed down the hill. I'm just happening to head in the same direction. I follow from behind.
ちょっとそこの子がよ。
Don't call me Kogeyo.
ついてこないって言ったじゃない。
Well, there's coincidentally the route I take
部
home.
活はいいの？
Well, I already told him I was leaving. Izaki then speeds up her pace and I follow suit.
子がよ。
Can you stop it with this Kogeyo crap already?
駅までついてきてるじゃない。
It only seems that way.
小ヶ坂くんの家通り過ぎてるでしょ？
It only seems that way. Izaki presses a hand to her forehead in exasperation.
そうやって偶然を装って病院まで来るわけね。
I have no idea what you're talking about. But I'm not playing dummy, or it really is just coincidence.
来てもつまらないわよ。
Never expected to enjoy myself.
やることないわよ。
Just learning that your wounds healed up is all I want.
明日にでも小雨から聞けばいいじゃない。
There happen to be two things in this world I hate most. Imposition and giving up.
何よそれ。
Basically, I don't want to keep idle and do nothing. There's no way I could really enjoy a club by myself while you're at the hospital. That's the kind of injury your injury is to me. Izaki heaves a heavy sigh.
わかったわよ。勝手にしたら。
Victory. You would have saved us a lot of time if you just said that from the
で
start.
もついてきてもいいけど条件がある。
Yeah.
私の前で今後一切臭いセリフ言わないで。かゆくなるから。条件破ったら蹴るからね。
She lets out a final before making for the station. Well, to be honest, it isn't as if I don't think it is. I don't think it is cheesy too. A little after, while scratching my head. After Izakaki's name is called by the receptionist, she enters an examination room. I'd known I would be beforehand, but I'm basically just sitting here bored as hell. After sitting there in the waiting room for a while, I eventually get a little restless and decide to walk around. Since this is the nearest general hospital, I might end up here one day if I get sick or something. I figure it's not a bad idea to check out what kinds of examinations and treatments they do here.
どうかされましたか？
Yes! Who are you? Give me a name, please.
受診の方ですか？でしたら、受付はあちらになりますよ。
I catch the attention of a nurse as I'm wandering around. I forgot to read that just because of pure, like, yes. No, I just came in with Izakaki. Since it happens to suddenly, I accidentally ended up saying her name.
榊、ひょっとして先生の娘さん？
I reckon the doctor she mentioned is Izakaki's father.
君、木榊小桃さんのお友達？
Yeah, I guess you could say it so.
彼女、とてもしっかりしてるわよね。先生は手を焼いてるみたいだけど。
Yeah, I can imagine that. She has the will of a lion.
先生も怒ると怖いから、やっぱり親子なのよね。
I met her father only briefly before, so I can't quite tell myself.
仕事熱心な方よ。
I can easily imagine that from the way Izakaki
ち
is
な
like.
みに私、ファンなの。
Okay, is all I can answer in response to
病
that.
院、あまりうろうろしないようにね。
After reprimanding me pointedly, she leaves. I spot a hospital map that just happens to be put on the wall where I am at. And as I'm running my eyes over it, I hear a voice behind me.
何してるの？そこの不審者。
She's back. That's unexpected too. What exactly makes me suspicious?
病院の見取り図を頭に叩き込んで犯行の下準備してたじゃない。
I was just checking out the map like people normally do. Jeez. Nothing about that screams criminal.
ちゃんと待合室にいなさいよ。おかげで探したじゃない。
Well, what do you want me to do? I was bored sitting
分
there.
かっててついてきたんでしょ。
By the way, I see your badge got removed.
ええ、完治ってわけじゃないけど邪魔な包帯は巻かなくて済むようになったわ。
So all that's left is to go fetch your medicine?
そうよ。薬局の方に行かないと。
Along the way, I ask her. So this hospital is divided into a central ward and a west ward, yeah?
そうよ。渡り廊下でつながってるけど。
So basically, it's a 3-story hospital with 2 wards.
そうね。こじんまりしてると思うけど。
Isn't it the largest in the area?
知らないわよ。他の病院なんて行ったことないし。
I don't blame you. I imagine you get free treatment and stuff here.
別にお父さんが院長してるわけじゃないし、普通にお金かかるわよ。さっき会計済ませたし。
You're walking through the hallway of the central ward. The entrance hall, reception hall, and a counter and Hisaki's examination all took place here. I guess that they conduct all the regular examinations and whatnot here in the central ward. Just curious, Hisaki, what's in the west ward?
案内板に書いてあったでしょ。
Well, he came back while I was still checking it. The front entrance comes into sight. When you leave, you can find the pharmacy right next to the hospital building.
小笠坂くんには縁がない病棟よ。
Hisaki whispers to
西病棟
herself.
は長期の入院患者みたいな重い病気の人がいるの。だから気になるからって入らないでね。もし勝手に入ったら蹴るだけじゃ済まさないから。
time to break in there. Found you, Mare.
見つかった。
Thus ends the usual round of hide and seek. It is a relief that she is here. Because of that incident with Kosame, I was entirely prepared for her to not show up. But now Kosame has returned to her usual self, and Izakaki's injury has almost healed up too. However, I still can't say with confidence that Mare has moved beyond that incident, or that she's forgiven Kosame. I'll just go ahead and apologize for what happened with Kosame.
小豆って誰？
I said Kosame. She's the one who tried to attack you before. Mare hugs her sight tightly. I guess you're still angry,
別
huh?
に。
If it's any reassurance to you, Kosame swore to me that she'll never attack you again. You don't have to worry anymore.
うん。
Promise you, you'll be all right. Mare still looks huffy. Is my word alone not enough to convince you?
そうじゃなくて。
Mare's level of huffiness increases.
ようくんはいいの？
Fine with
あ
Walt.
の子のこと、怒ってないの？
Kosame, you
小
mean?
豆のこと。
Kosame is her name. But back to your question. No, I'm not angry at her.
不可思議。
How so?
ようくんも怪我したのに。
That was just a scratch.
もう痛くないの？
Nope. She's still huffy. Is that not enough for
バ
you?
カバカ。
You were worried about me?
誰もそんなこと言ってないわ。
Well, thanks anyways.
何して。
Just stroking your head.
う
Sorry.
なんで謝るの？
Because I wasn't able to protect you like I should have.
うん。
I don't think it'll ever come to something like this again. But should it, I promise I'll protect you. Her eyes are stuck on the ground. And quietly she mutters,
私は死神なのに。
Right.
死神は誰かに守られたりしないのに。
Well, maybe so, but I'll still do it anyways.
死神はようくんと違うのに。
It doesn't matter.
うん。本当にバカバカ。
Then Mare lifts up her
だから
sight.
バカバカなあなたに免じてこれで許してあげる。
Clonk. Ow! An impact assaults the crown of my head. What's
ま
that?
で叩いた。
Why?
この頭撫でるから。
Didn't it make you happy?
嬉しいはずないわ。
But you totally looked that way to me.
してない。困ってただけ。一回叩いただけじゃ足りないよね。
Okay, I'm sorry. Please put the sight down. Hot!
よくできました。
Could you please stop ultimately resorting to that every damn time? After circling above us, Motto lands on Mare's head. His face seems visibly satisfied. Looks like Motto is doing
別
great.
にいつもこんな感じだけど。
He got knocked unconscious by Kosume's Naginata once, but I can't see any remaining after effects. Unlike myself, who also got hit by that Naginata, he came out of it without any injuries. Maybe it is because he isn't an animal, but an illusory dream. Kosume said they were, in essence, nightmares. So what? Makes no difference to me. Not at all. I could spend time with Mare and Motto like this whenever.
かーくん。
Hot!
よくできました。
What did he do to deserve that just now?
してほしそうな顔してたから。
I'll have to check the back of my head in the mirror once I'm back home. Oh, right, Mare, I've got good news for you. See, that's actually the reason I came here tonight. The man spread out in an exaggerated fashion, I inform her. As of today, you are officially a member of the Astro Circle.
いや、
She rejects. Why?
死神はテンクルの部員になんてならないわ。
But you said yourself you wanted to join and even submitted an admission form for that
あれは
purpose.
気の迷いだった。
Well, fine. You don't have to be a member.
いや、
Okay, at this point, whatever. Just keep switching between being a club member and not.
しょうがないから。それでいい。
Mare is as defiant as ever. Want to do some stargazing now?
そんなの言われなくたって。
Maya directs her gaze upwards, with model resting on her head.
好きな時にいつだってできるじゃない。
Following that, both of us direct our gaze at the magnificent summer constellations. Just like she said, the two of us could meet at the lookout whenever we wanted. Join together and gaze at Ibarigasaki's starry sky, just the two of us.
今日は最後まで部活出てくれるんだよね。
Yeah, that's the plan.
よしよし、偉い偉い。
And now she's acting big sister-esque again.
麻生さん、小ヶ坂さんの初恋の人、展望台の彼女さんに対抗心メラメラですね。なんでそうなるんだよ。展望台の彼女さんは小ヶ坂さんより年上だと聞いていますので、あすほさんも対抗してお姉さんぶっているのかと。そういうわけじゃないよ。小ヶ坂さん、真相はどうなんでしょう。なんでようちゃんに聞くんだよ。
Yeah, now I have the urge to leave early after all.
おや、今日は普段に増して賑やかだね。
Okaizumi belatedly arrives at the club room. That's quite unusual, as he's normally here before us.
岡泉先輩、遅いですよ。
あ、なんで怒ってるんだい？
先輩が遅刻したからです。
僕のせいなのかい？
ある意味で。
どうせ僕は自覚がない部長だし、影は薄いし、活躍の場はないし。
I felt like even without shining, his presence is anything but weak. Senpai, were you late for a reason? He's fiddling around with some in his hand while acting, very similar to some carnivorous beast.
あ、先輩が持ってるのって何ですか？
Oh, he who shows up even later than Okaizumi joins in. It's a kaleidoscope music box, if I remember correctly.
テンクルのシンボルと言われているものですか？岡泉先輩が修理に出すって言ってたんだよね。
So I guess it means he went to fetch
そ
it.
れで先輩遅かったんですね。カレイドオルゴール。
Just what you think from the name, it's a music box that also doubles as a kaleidoscope.
望遠鏡みたいに見えます。
Have you checked one out?
ないです。じゃあはい、葵さん。
Also, it snatches the music box away from Okaizumi and hands it over to Aoi. Kosabe bestows a puzzle ring upon Okaizumi, whose bloodshot eyes are goggling and glinting dangerously.
これ見ていいんですか？もちろん。治ってるかどうか試してみて。どうすればいいんでしょう。そこにネジがついてますから、それを回してください。
Aoi winds up the key like she was told.
ダメ人間、クスクス。
Instead of a tune, some sort of malediction comes out.
無性に腹立たしくなるメロディーです。今のがオルゴールの曲なの？どうなんでしょう。私は聞いたことがありませんから。ダメ人間、クスクス。
Yeah, that's very clearly just someone's voice.
岡泉先輩、これって呪いのオルゴールだったんですか？
If anything is cursed, it is clearly this nut job.
これ、何か感じますね。
Kosumi is directing a stern gaze at the music box.
葵さん、万華鏡の方はどうですか？
Just look into the tube.
カ カラフルに移り変わる星空が見えます。
It's just a bunch of reds spinning in circles. Seems like the kaleidoscope part of it is functioning properly.
回転が止まりました。
Oh, he tries winding up the key once more.
ダメ人間クスクス。イライラします。霊でもついているんでしょうか。それが理由でシンボルになってたらやだな。
We're gonna keep this music box in the club room, yeah?
呪われてなかったらそのつもりだった。お母さんに頼んでお払いしてもらいましょうか。
Mind if I borrow it for a bit before we get to that? I received the kaleidoscope box from Aoi.
どうするの？
Well, there's someone I'd like to show a kaleidoscope to.
誰でしょう。
Mare, I promised her some time ago.
子供のおもちゃには妥当です。岡泉先輩、ようちゃんがオルゴール借りたいそうですよ。
はあはあ。はあはあ。
先輩は餌に夢中ですので、自己承諾でもいいんじゃないでしょうか。
Then I'll do just that.
でも、先輩が正気に戻らないと、テンクルの活動ができないんだけど。私たちだけでスケジュールを組みましょうか。後で先輩に確認してもらいましょう。
Thought you guys already did that yesterday.
せっかくだし、みんなで立てたいじゃない。と言っても、姉さんと刹那先輩はお休みですけど。
This carcass case is because of student counseling, but since that is just a case of her never coming anyways.
メアさんもいませんが。
Well, Mare's pretty much nocturnal. I haven't seen her during the day, even once for that matter.
それに、学校の生徒じゃないと部室に来づらいよね。姉さんが部外者も活動に参加できる許可は取りましたけど、校舎を自由に行き来するときは連絡が必須とも言っていましたから。だったら、この4人が主要メンバーってことになるね。
It is pretty sad that Okazumi is included in that.
有意義な活動にするために、私たちでしっかり予定立てなきゃね。
We all shout a yeah in unison.
ダメ人間クスクス。もうそのオルゴール止めようよ。叩き割りたい衝動に駆られます。ダメ人間クスクス。ダメ人間クスクス。
はあはあ。はあ。
気になって活動できないよ。
Our freshly raised morale plummets in a twinkle.
小ヶ坂さん、オルゴールを持っていくのはいいですけど、自分まで呪われないように気をつけてくださいね。
I'll be counting on your help if worst comes to worst.
人思いにバッサリ切ればいいんですね。
I would appreciate it if you didn't cut me along with it. Cosimo only smiles at that, saying nothing more. So, man, we planned our club schedule today. So, yeah, if you want to, we'll be holding stargazing sessions on Fridays. If you want, well, if you feel like it, come to Body High's rooftop as well.
最初からそのつもり。
I mean, I already knew it'd be like this with her. Oh, and besides that, I also brought you a little surprise.
死神はお土産なんて受け取らないわ。
Oh, come on, don't be like that. Here, take a look. Hold out the music box.
何それ？
A kaleidoscope. It also functions as a music box, though. Remember, you said you wanted to see one.
別に。
Contrary to her words, she quickly draws near me. There's a key on the bottom side. You need to wind it up. You have to wind it up, then look inside the tube.
これを回すのね。
Mare winds up the key like I told her.
ダメ宇宙人。クスクス。
Okay, I'm convinced that Ren is just somewhere nearby trolling them. Like Ren has just decided, okay, you know what? I'm bored right now. And fucking Taiga won't do shit. Won't do anything interesting. So I just like walk around with them and just fuck with them.
なんかバカにされたんだけど、
Just ignore the maledictions.
性格悪そうな女の子が見えた気もしたけど。
Mare gingerly peers through the lens. Then she observes the ever-changing, multicolored patterns.
これが万華鏡。
Mare mutters in a daze.
なんだろう。懐かしい。初めて見たのに、何か、そう、七夕みたい。ようくんが聞かせてくれた七夕伝説みたい。
Urimi and Hikoboshi are still up there, shining in the late summer night sky.
私、七夕伝説なんて本当は知らなかった。だけどようくんから聞いてたら懐かしい気持ちになった。知ってるはずがないのに。思い出した。七夕のこと思い出したの。これが七夕の星空なのね。なんだか星が多すぎて怖い。
True, if I keep looking at them for a while, I start to feel the same.
綺麗なものも多すぎるとグロテスクになるのね。
Can't say I quite like that turn of phrase.
織姫と彦星ってどれかわかる？
See the band of light that looks like clouds? That's the Milky Way. The two stars shining immediately above and below are Orihime and
上
Hikoboshi.
にあるのが
Orihime.
下が彦星。
Yep.
よくできました。
I think of it, there were hints back then. The way she talked, it wasn't clear whether she actually knew or not. The kaleidoscope stopped revolving. Mare looks at me, eyes upturned. In a way, her eyes are like... Well, just like how she described she felt peering inside the telescope tube. Her eyes seem like I am a target of nostalgia to her. She is wholeheartedly directing that kind of gaze at me. Want me to stroke your head?
絶対嫌。
You had to think about that for a second.
迷ってない。
Have you ever thought of the possibility that you're like me? The question hits me, so I ask her. The possibility that you have lost memories. I mean, there are things you've forgotten too, just like how I forgot the lookout girl's name.
どうして？
But no, it's just kind of how things came off to me.
バカバカ。
Well, if I'm on the wrong track, I apologize. Mare's background, her real name. She said she didn't know either of those things. Did she simply forget? Or is it that she never knew to begin with? Well, those things are replaceable to just about anyone. The lookout girl's name is just as important to me. But I ultimately forgot it. Names are precious to me. They're replaceable. My research using the books I borrowed in the school library led me to the knowledge that memory loss fixes itself naturally over time. In the meanwhile, whenever I found the time to, I also went through several other books related to it. In one of those, it said that cases of memory loss, like you see in TV shows, are actually an extreme rarity, and instances of memories coming back even more so. Sure enough, I haven't recalled her name yet. I also read that if you were to record the entirety of a person's life and compress that data so that you could view it on TV, a capacity of 50 terabytes would suffice. Maybe one tiny memory, ultimately just one tiny fragment among the huge volume of data, is actually inconsequential. But still, it isn't inconsequential to me.
ダメ人間。クスクス。
Don't play the music box.
ようくんがダメダメだったから。
Being called a hopeless human and now a dudhead, I can literally feel my self-esteem dwindling. Anyhow, can I recall the lookout girl's name by waiting? Is it simply waiting, just ultimately an act of passiveness? Can I really say it's the right thing for me to be doing? The passiveness was what led to me never having asked for her contact details. Wasn't I maybe repeating the same mistake?
ダメ宇宙人。クスクス。バカバカオルゴール。
She repeatedly hits the bass of the music box. Can't help but chuckle seeing that.
偉いね。偉い。たくさん友達作れるようになったんだね。優等生になれたんだね。
Right. Waiting is my best option. Just believe and wait. We'll be able to recall her name. And we'll be able to see each other. Once more, she and I. After all, even though all this time has passed, she's still someone I treasure. If I just keep holding on to these feelings without letting them fade, I'll see her again.
なんか、台からバネが飛び出した。
Hey, don't break it!
このオルゴールが悪い。
The smile I have on my face stiffens. So if it's just to wait, how much longer will I be able to do so in order to regain her irreplaceable precious name? The answer to that question comes from the direction I least expect. With the Buddy Festival over and October now in full swing, the wind has gotten really chilly. We may have switched to our winter uniforms already, but that doesn't do anything for my hands and ears, so they keep growing colder and colder. Hold on. I've been waiting here for a while now. The person I'm expecting isn't here yet. I'm currently standing out here on the school rooftop per someone's request. After school let out and I moved the contents of my desk into my bag, I discovered a note. A lovely piece of stationery that had dog paws on it as decoration. It said the following. I'll be waiting for you on the rooftop after school. Just that one sentence. The name of the sender wasn't specified, nor any particular time either. So realistically speaking, I have no way to know when exactly after school the sender will come. Though if it didn't show up, I could only imagine the sender of this letter waiting up here for me forever. At this point, all I can do was speculate. But one thing is for certain, namely that I am the addressee. Similarly, I can almost say without a shadow of doubt who the sender is. The girl that is always to my right, she got up from my desk and left the moment school was over. Then I noticed the rooftop's door opening. I direct my attention there.
ねえ、ようちゃん。
She comes to a halt in front of me and begins to talk.
私の思いは再会したばかりの頃は風化しかけてたのかもしれないけど、
She's slowly, as if carefully digesting something conveying her
また
words.
ようちゃんの近くにいられるようになって、こうしてそばにいられるようになって、そしたらね、風化していた記憶が戻っていったんだ。
Maybe I should have turned on the fucking
色が戻っていったんだ。
webcam before I turned the fucking full screen back on.
わかるんだ。欠けたパズルが埋まっていくみたいに、一つ一つピースが埋まっていったんだよ。それはね、きっと完成するとやっぱり恋って読めるんだ。
She is
だ
confessing
からね、こ
like
れ
this
が
again.
最後のピース埋めてくれるかはあなたに任せます。
I'm sure that also resolved herself to do this from the start. I'm sure she had decided beforehand that she would do this after Hibari Festival was over. Looking back on it, all throughout the preparations for the festival, Asa was really close to me. Her distance to me was even shorter than
よ
usual.
うちゃん、
I'm afraid of hearing her next words. I don't know how to respond. Can't piece together an answer for her. Just want to run away from her right now so desperately, but I know that won't do. If I were to run away now, it would be a decision I would regret for the rest of my life.
私はようちゃんのことが
I'm sorry. These words slip out of my mouth subconsciously. Asa is visibly surprised. Even though they are my own words, I'm also surprised. In addition, there's a strange feeling welling up in me that I don't know how to describe. Just like Asa resolved herself to confess to me, Certain resolve takes form inside of me as well. See now, that's what it is. I've probably chosen someone else over Asuho. Over both her and over anyone else. The girl I chose was her, the lookout girl. Not so flat as a lonesome smile
振
at
られ
me.
ると思ってたんだ。私がようちゃんに告白したのはね、思い出に決着をつけたかったからで、そのために一つ一つ段階を踏んでステップアップして、ようちゃんの家に迎えに行って、一緒に登校して、一緒に勉強して、一緒にボートにまで乗って。
Pain!
そしてこれが最後だったんだ。この告白を最後に決着をつけようと思ってたんだ。忘れられなかった思い出を忘れようって思ってたんだ。
The newfound resolve was also who created it. She gave me a push on the back.
ようちゃん、これ短冊、ようちゃんが作ったものだよ。都会に引っ越す前日、クラスで七夕の行事をやった時に、ようちゃんが書いたものなんだよ。笹に吊るしてたのが床に落ちたのかもしれない。私はそれを掃除当番の時に見つけて、こっそり取っちゃったんだ。それからずっと待ってたんだよ、ようちゃんに返せるのを。だからようちゃんと再会して、だけどなかなかできなくて。
It goes on without even sparing a moment to wipe away the tears that are pouring from her eyes.
ここにね、ようちゃんの願いが書いてある。展望台の彼女さんの名前が。だからずっと返そうって思ってたのに返せなかった。子供の頃の私はこの短冊の意味が何なのかわからなかったけど、
Oops.
だけど今の私はようちゃんから展望台の彼女さんの話を聞いたから気づけたの。気づけたのにすぐには返せなかった。私はようちゃんに待ってもらうことにした。小学校で調べた卒業アルバムに展望台の彼女さんが載ってなかったことで、私がこの気持ちに決着をつけるまでようちゃんに無理やり待ってもらうことにしたんだよ。
Treatment for memory loss is simply to wait. And true enough, I have been waiting. Been waiting all this time.
ごめんね、ようちゃん。今までごめんなさい。私なんかに付き合ってもらってごめんなさい。
I wrap my arms around Also's shoulders and draw her in for an embrace. Here also catch her breath inside my arms.
ダメだよ。ようちゃんがこうする相手は展望台の彼女さんなんだから。
Sorry.
ダメだよ。謝らなくていいんだから。私知ってるんだから。ようちゃんがずっと展望台の彼女さんのこと忘れられなかったこと、私も同じだから。私も忘れられなかったから。この初恋を忘れられなかったから。だからようちゃんの気持ちもわかるから。
Also sobs away. Stay like this until Also's tears stop. Eventually the sun goes down and a bright red sunset starts to show. Nevertheless, Also's tears still keep flowing. She cries until her tears run dry, then pulls away from me and forces the wish card she held out earlier on to me. Written on it is the lookout girl's name. A puzzle piece of my memories that also was giving to me. Illuminated by the starlight, my younger self's handwriting is faintly, and with a magical aura to it, illustrating her name, Yume. Still not updated. Nurse! IS, my favorite character, Nurse! Also, I'm pretty sure that this one is just like a different pose for Komomo that they're using as the shadow, as well as this one is just a different fucking pose for Kosame in the shadow. Which is mildly funny. Also, the fact that for some reason they put Yo so low, so he just looks like a fucking dwarf compared to all the other girls. Like, if this is his. Like, if they were put on the same floor for these pictures, he would be smaller than everyone, aside from Suzuha. Suzuha would be the only one that's actually smaller than him, and model, but don't really care. Anyways. The following morning, arriving at the classroom, Aso greets me with a smile on her face. Morning.
もうなんでそんな暗い返事なんだよ。
Aso draws her huffy face near me. The usual habit when talking to
朝の
others.
挨拶は笑っておはようでしょ。
Yeah, sorry.
そうだよ。
Good morning, Aso.
よくできました。
She's still the same old Aso I know. I want to say she's already gotten over yesterday, but I guess it could also just be a facade. I can still see traces of tears around her eyes.
小ヶ坂さん、私に挨拶はないんですか？
Kosame approaches me with a smile on her face. Yeah, I think this one should be the pose. That's wrong. No, it isn't. It's a different one. Actually, no, it is. Morning,
さ
Kosame.
ようなら、小ヶ坂さん。
Still smiling, Kosame then thrusts out a naginata and puts its blade on my neck. Why? What the hell?
いけません。うっかり本音が出てしまいました。
Why are you all set on cutting me down?
小雨ちゃん、どうしたのそのなぎなた。つくばと間違って持ってきてしまいました。
I firmly believe that is impossible. How did you get all the way to the school with a fucking naginata in hand? I feel like multiple people will have seen that and reported that.
まあ小雨さんが怒る気持ちもわかるけどな。てっきり二人くっつくもんだと思ってたし。
So they knew, huh?
私、何も言ってないんだけど。私とアスカさんは付き合いが長いですから。それでなくとも、ハズオさんは態度でバレバレですから。どうせ私は隠し事が下手だよ。
小ヶ坂、なんで皆星のこと振ったんだ？
So they really figured out what was going on. Yeah, well, reasons.
私たちが納得できる理由でお願いします。
Hey, the blade is actually sinking in!
ようちゃん、言いづらいなら私が話そうか。
No, it's better to say nothing at all.
ようちゃんはね、小学生の彼女さんに恋
Phrasing! Phrasing! No! Fuck off! No! 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 Oh no! It's here! it again. Why did you purposefully say elementary school instead of lookout?
展望台の幼女さんに恋してるの。
That's not any better?
要するにロリコンなのか。
I love the fact that they decided to translate lolicon as kitty diddler.
汚らわしい。
Cut that stare! I don't want to be shamed for someone whose preferences are as wacky as yours.
私は幼女だけがストライクではありませんから。
Yes, and so do I.
小ヶ坂さん、真剣に答えてください。あなたは本当に展望台の幼女さんが好きなんですか？
Why are you specifically emphasizing that part?
幼女について話してるからだろ。
Why do you keep doing this to me?
ロリコンだからだろ
How many times do I have to tell you?
小ヶ坂さん、どうなんですか？
Wait, you're seriously going to stab me with that? Actually, you really are! You actually are! Already are.
私は幼ちゃんのことを応援するよ。たとえ世間の風が厳しくても。
I've done nothing to deserve this ostracism in the first place.
本当は好きなんだろ幼女。
Could you seriously stop talking, trying to tease me with this little girl crap already? That we are getting nowhere. Look, I don't really understand much about love, so I can't 100% say whether I'm actually in love with the lookout girl or not. However, I want to find her. That's currently where I am.
小学生の幼女を探したい。そういうことなんですね。
Blood trickling down my neck? This joke is getting real fucking bit lame because it doesn't even make sense. She's 1 year older than him.
小雨ちゃん、ありがと
Cosme has a troubled smile on her
う。
face.
でもこれ以上ようちゃんを困らせると、私も怒っちゃうよ。あすほさん。
I mean, if we are being honest here, also is the one who brought about the whole little girl shit in the first place.
私は大丈夫だから。満足してるんだ。子供の頃の夢が叶ったから。ようちゃんと友達になれたんだから。
Looks like Cosme is contemplating saying something, but ultimately she withdraws wordlessly.
命拾いしたみてえだな。
This isn't a joke.
家事と恋路は昔から野じ馬の的だろうが。
I don't wish you would stop with the tactless remarks like that. I would have fucking grabbed his hand and smashed it against the nearest table already by now.
展望台の彼女って小ヶ坂の初恋の相手なんだよな。
Not really. We were essentially just playmates for a period of about 1 month.
意外と短いんですね。もっとたくさん一緒だったのかと思ってた。
I met her for the first time shortly before we moved away.
運命の出会いってやつか。
Can you please just let me say one thing without instantly jumping to love?
その展望台の彼女さん、探せそうなんですか？
I don't know, but I luckily got a lead from
手が
Oswald.
かり？
Yeah, I got her name back. Her name, Yume. It isn't her full name, however. And I don't even know whether it is her first name or last. Even at this point, I'm still unable to fully recall. It would be nice if getting the cue from Yume had caused me to remember the rest of her name, but unfortunately, things didn't work out that conveniently. Makes me feel tantalized and at the same time miserable about myself.
ようちゃん、私も探すの手伝っていい？
I don't expect to hear that. I'm from also at that.
また小学校まで調べに行かなきゃだろうし、ようちゃん一人だと難しいでしょ？
Yeah,
それ
maybe.
に大勢の方がきっと早く探せるよ。
Her face is all smiles. Since her smile looks unworried and nonchalant to me, I decided to take her up on her offer. Thanks, you're a real lifesaver.
麻生さんが協力するなら、私もご一緒させてくださいね。
俺はまあ何かするつもりはねえけど、応援くらいはしてやるよ。
Just don't take pictures or whatever out of curiosity.
展望台の彼女とやらがオカルトじゃねえ限りはな。
よっちゃん、早速今日から行動開始。
Now I think about our plan of action for the rest of the school day.
じゃあ放課後のテンクルの活動はみんなで展望台の彼女さんの捜索だね。
今日は夜からの天体観測がメインですし、時間は十分ありますね。
Didn't expect things would turn out this way, but I have no reason to turn them down. After all, it is a sort of nice feeling to know all of my friends are willing to do this for me.
お兄ちゃんお兄ちゃんお兄ちゃん
I will annihilate you. Someone also talked about this in the comments, and I 100% agree with it. Like, her route did not need the romance. Her route would have been perfectly fucking good, actually, if it was just about family drama and them, like, learning to become, like, a proper family with, Shino. Like, that would have made for a fantastic fucking route. But in the end, like, it just felt like they ham-fisted in the romance. To the point where it's basically just they never tell Shino, she just notices and is like, oh, I can't wait for my grandchildren. Like, it didn't fucking matter. It didn't fucking matter at all. I'm just pissed. Seriously. Then, as lunch break comes around, my dimwit sister came charging over to our floor for some reason.
お、ちなみちゃんだ。
相変わらず元気だね。
What do you need?
ゆうべ言ってた展望台の彼女さんのことだけど、お兄ちゃんが恋焦がれてる幼女のことだけど。
Do not emphasize that word like you're cool or something, you little snot.
朗報持ってきたのにグリグリをひどい仕打ちだよお兄ちゃん。ちなみさんの声は大きいですからね。
注目浴びるとさすがに恥ずかしいかな。
Speaking of last night, I guess I forgot to mention, since I learned the name Yume to Russell, I decided to ask Chino and Chino about it after I got back home. I asked them specifically if they knew any girls by the name of Yume. Then when I'd previously asked about the lookout girl, I didn't have her name. Accordingly, the two of them replied that they wouldn't know. So yeah, I got my hopes up a little, thinking that just maybe I'd get different replies this time around. Alas, in the end, they had nothing. Chino at least knew that there was a girl I had played with for just a month back as a kid, but Chino apparently wasn't even aware. Her name added to my question didn't change that, but...
ちなみちゃん、朗報って言ってたよね。
展望台の彼女さんについて何か分かったんでしょうか。
Well, what is it? What's this news you've brought
朗
me?
報は朗報だよ。お兄ちゃんにとって最も喜ぶべき事態が発生したんだよ。
Wait, did you really? Did you find out where she is?
そうじゃないよ。ちなみも探すの協力することにしたから、大船に乗った気持ちで行ってねって言いたかったんだよ。
Thank you, Chimney. Thank you so much.
なのにグリグリするのは予定調和なのお兄ちゃん。
Look, I've already got enough people to help me. You don't have to join them.
それは間違いだよお兄ちゃん。お兄ちゃんをかどわかしたその悪女はたとえちなみのライバルであっても、ちなみはスポーツマンシップにのっとる心を忘れてないんだから。
That's still rude, Chinami. What do you think every athlete on the planet would think hearing that?
ちなみにフェア精神はないって言いたいのお兄ちゃん。
ようちゃんいいじゃない。ちなみちゃんは恋で言ってくれてるんだから。
そうだよ、まったくだよ。ちなみの尊い自己犠牲をお涙ちょうだいでありがたがらないなんて、兄失格どころか人間失格だよ。
There's nothing more questionable than the kindness of people that blabber on about from their high horse like that.
ちなみさんも放課後部室にいらっしゃいますか。はい、お兄ちゃんのためにいらっしゃってあげます。
私おやつ持ってきてるから一緒に食べようね。
Hello, Chino. Chinami's leaving early 6. I'm sending her home right now.
毎度ながら何が何でもちなみをのけ者にしたそう。それと放課後じゃないと携帯は使用禁止ですよ。
ようちゃん、探すのに人数は多い方がいいって納得したんじゃないの？
Well, Chinami will probably lead to a bunch of false positives, which is just gonna waste time. So, yeah. I was saying that because of Jinami's case, chances were her so-called help wouldn't help whatsoever.
ちなみちゃん、おかけんの聞き込みの時は大活躍だったぞ。
優秀な探偵さんになれそうですよね。
私たちは賛成だよ。
Except that detectives require a little thing called confidentiality, which she clearly doesn't have. Well, I suppose it's better than her just willfully tagging along. Alright, are you fine helping us, Jinami?
もちろんだよ。ちなみは正々堂々お兄ちゃんをかどわかした悪女と対決したいからね。
Okay, then I've got a request to
了
make.
解だよ。イエスサーだよお兄ちゃん。
Hurry up and get ready to go home.
ここにいたってもまだ邪魔者扱いするのお兄ちゃん。
No, I was just having a bit of a last-minute fun. I'd like to ask you to bring our habitual skipper away to the club room to while you're at it.
それくらいお安い御用だよ。命に変えても連れてくる所存だよお兄ちゃん。これで葵さんも参戦だね。
Actually, my intention was to give her a friendly reminder so that she wouldn't skip the stargazing session tonight. Though if always willing to help out, I have no reason to decline her help either.
お兄ちゃん、約束通り葵ちゃん連れてきたよ。
私、夕方から見たいドラマが。
いらっしゃい二人とも。おやつ用意してあるよ。ありがとうございます。
部活は夜からだったのでは。天体観測もちゃんとしますよ。
Wait, you were actually gonna come?
サボると家まで押しかけられそうですから。
Yeah, that has actually happened several times since the second term started. Any orders of business we need to discuss today, Okaizumi?
特にないよ。ひばり祭は終わったし、テンクルも新しい目標が欲しいところだけどね。
それじゃ夜まで部活はお休みってことで。
では、なぜ私は連れられてきたんでしょう。これから皆さんにちょっとお仕事をお願いしたいんです。
ようちゃん、どうぞ。
I have to say, I really don't need any help if you guys aren't up to it, though.
どうせ私たち暇なんだし遠慮することないよ。
私は楽しそうですから参加させてくださいね。よくわかりませんけど、私は一応用事が。
小ヶ坂くん、何か頼み事でもあるのかい？
そうです。お兄ちゃんは初恋の幼女を探し。
Bam.
お兄ちゃんがちなみのお尻蹴った。
初恋？
Forget what she
以
said.
前、先輩にはメアさんとそっくりな初恋の人がいると聞いていますけど。
Wow, she actually still remembers that.
メアちゃんとそっくりなの？
それは新しい情報ですね。
一体何の話だい？
お兄ちゃん、ここまで来たら隠すことこそ罪じゃないかな。いくら好きな相手が犯罪的に年下。ちなみのお尻を五段蹴りに。
She isn't younger than me, okay? Don't go blurting out stuff that's obviously gonna be taken the wrong way. If she grows, you know, like every other human, she'll be older than me. And I have no other choice but to straight up ask everyone after returning my... Then I have no other choice but to straight up ask everyone after returning my gaze over all of them, running my gaze over all of them. There's this girl named Yume I'm looking for. I want you guys to help me. Of course, only if you have the time. Think now. What's the first thing I need to do when it comes to searching for the lookout girl for Yume? Probably pinpoint where she lives. The only lead is the name Yume. It's the same situation I was in when it just moved back to Hibarigasaki. Essentially meaning I'm back at square one. Back then I ended up forgetting her name because of Mare. That was before I'd started looking for her for real. Afterwards I tried searching for her using all the approaches I could think up, but none of them got me anyway. Guess I'll try and go through all the approaches I tried in July once more. Now that I've got her name, there might be new information to gain. I can find the trail leading to her.
ひばり校の卒業アルバムをお見せするのはこれで2度目ですね。
It really helps me that you're in the library
7
committee.
月の時は小ヶ坂さんがなぜアルバムを調べるのか分かりませんでしたけど、今度は見つかることを祈っていますよ。
I didn't find anything when I sifted through the yearbooks, relying on her facial features. But this time I have her name, which means I know without a doubt that she is in there somewhere.
私はこれから小学校行ってアルバム調べてくるね。何か分かったら携帯で連絡するから。ちなみは3年生の会に行って手当たり次第聞いてきます。聞き込みはちなみちゃんのお箱だもんね。はい、たとえ相手が上級生でも夢って幼女を知らないか尋ねるくらいわけないですから。
She is not a little girl. How many times do I need to drill this into your head, you little twerp?
お茶目な冗談だからグリグリは許してほしいよ、お兄ちゃん。
2人とも図書室ではうるさくしないでくださいね。
僕は先生から在校生の名簿を借りてくるよ。借りる理由は適当にでっち上げるしかないけど。
学年総代の先輩ならきっと簡単に貸してくれますよ。私はすることがなさそうなのでそろそろ。
葵さんはカウンターのパソコンで調べてみてくれませんか？名前でネットの検索をかければ何かわかるかもしれません。
どうして私が。葵さん、スフレ食べる？これでは従わざるを得ません。
The small animal has been tamed.
図書室の飲食は禁止なんですけどね。
Kosame, could I ask you to go through the
わ
yearbooks?
かりました。小ヶ坂さんはどうするんですか？
Well, I figure if it's possible to inspect the basic resident register, I can look through that.
個人情報に関してはなんだかんだで厳しいからね。役所関係はほとんど無理じゃないかな。
Of course, going to a detective agency isn't feasible as a student. Private databases can't be used without knowing the full name or telephone number either. In which case, there's only one thing I can do. I'll go over to the residential area and check out all the door plates. I've gained the name Yume, however I haven't remembered whether that is her first or her last name. That being the case, examining door plates won't do me any good if Yume is her first name. So I have to at least try. The one thing I can't under any circumstances allow myself to do is just passively resign myself to the situation without even trying, regardless of whether trying achieves something or not. The predicament I'm in right now is a result of that very attitude. It is what took Yume away from me. We all agreed upon gathering from the station once evening comes around and set out to get our individual jobs.
52冊の卒業アルバムをすべて調べてみたんですけど、どうやら展望台の彼女さんはひばり校の卒業生ではないようです。
ちなみは3年生に手当たり次第聞いてみたけど、夢って人を知ってる先輩はいないみたいだったよ。
在校生ではないようだね。名字も下の名前も夢という女子生徒は名簿に載っていなかったから。
ネットで検索をかけてみましたが、夢占いやら夢診断やらで163万件も引っかかって特定は不可能です。モニタで文字を追いすぎて目がしょぼしょぼします。お待たせ。さっきやっと調べ終わったよ。展望台の彼女さんだけど、小学校の卒業アルバムには載ってなかったよ。みんなはどうだった？
We each shake our heads. and sit around either myself. I examined as many door plates as I could within the given time frame, but ultimately didn't find any house that met the criteria.
ようちゃん、すごい汗。走って探してたの？
Well, yeah, but I didn't manage to check all of them.
一日じゃ無理だよ。ひばりが崎って都会と違って家と家の間が離れてると思うし。
In the end, we found nothing. Nothing at all. Buddy High's yearbooks. Nothing. Student register. Nothing. Our elementary school yearbooks. Nothing. The logical conclusion is that she never actually attended Buddy High and transferred away sometime during elementary. She might not be here in Ibarigasaki anymore. A panic washes over me in that moment. Would it honestly still be possible to find her with just her name as my lead if she wasn't in Ibarigasaki? No, wait.
偉いね。うん、偉い。
She is in Ibarigasaki. Without a shadow of a doubt, we will see each other again. As long as I don't give up hope, we should be able to eventually see one another again. Thanks, guys. Sorry I made you wait. Guys, waste your time on all this.
悪くなんかないってば。ちなみも、そんな言葉を聞くために手伝ったんじゃないんだよ。代わりにお小遣いアップしてくれたらとっても
Oops.
私は毎晩ごちそうになってるお礼とでも思ってください。気にする必要なんてありません。私たちは友達なんですから。
それにテンクルの仲間だからね。
その部活仲間に私は入ってないのかしら。
Izgaki comes walking our way. Guess she just happens to be on her way home from school. Are you on your way home from student council work?
そうよ。それより小笠坂くん、小雨から聞いたわよ。私に内緒で人探ししてるそうじゃない。
It's not like I was intentionally hiding it from you or anything.
小雨ちゃん、展望台の彼女さんを探してること話したんだ。はい、時間があったらお手伝いをお願いしますと。
小笠坂くん、私も一応部員なんだけど、なんでのけ者にするのよ。
I didn't intentionally leave you out per se. I was just being considerate of you since, well, aren't you busy with student council stuff?
普通に忙しいわよ。ひばり祭が終わっても。
じゃあどっちにしろ手伝えないような。
だから私が動けない代わりに暇そうな人に声かけておいたのよ。
なるほど。そういういきさつだったわけか。
Hi, Setsuna! How's life going? Setsuna comes walking our way from the opposite direction as Izagaki from inside the station.
せつな先輩にお願いしてね。ゆめって人を探してもらってたのよ。
学費と生活費の援助を盾に取られては従うしかないのでな。
A certain thought suddenly passes my mind. Wouldn't this make the first time that all the Astro Circle members, with the exception of Mayor, have gathered in one place like this?
それでだ。
After running her gaze over all the other club members, our paper member Setsuna finally rests her gaze on Izagaki and grins at her.
君の勘の良さは霊能力の一環かもしれないぞ。君に言われた通り、隣町の病院に赴いて事情を話して君の父親に調べてもらったが、一人入院患者にいるそうだ。おとつ、ゆめという19歳の少女がな。
The moment I hear that, it feels as though something finally clicks into place. Just as I hear that name, I learn where exactly the puzzle piece was missing. I'm finally able to fit the final puzzle piece I received from Osaho. The puzzle that reflects my memories is complete, and it reads Ototsuyume. Before going home, I dropped by this place. We all went our separate ways at the station, which was when Chinami then suggested going home together. I, however, wanted to briefly visit this place while it was still bright outside. I don't think I've ever actually been here before. While I do know the place, I never visited it back as a kid. Didn't come here together with Yume either. The slight rippling surface of the waterway brilliantly reflects the sunset's crimson. I'm standing at a boundary line. This waterway is a boundary line. Boundary line that separates Iberigoski and the neighboring town. Yume is somewhere across this bridge. Right now, she's hospitalized in the neighboring town's hospital. Hisaki and Cosima said that they would arrange a time for me to visit her. If I can learn the exact date as early as tonight's stargazing session. That's finally it. I'll be able to see the lookout girl again. Be able to see Yume again. She and I will see each other. Both of us much different from those days all those years ago. What will I think and feel when I finally see her? Firstly, which will she think and feel seeing me? Will she still remember those silly promises we exchanged as kids? The promise they would definitely meet again. That we would get married thereafter and she would put me on a leash. Will you remember all of that? And for the stargazing session, I dropped by the lookout. Mare didn't show up at the stargazing session, which was a disappointment to me. I had wanted to tell her about the lookout girl, about Yume. Additionally, there's something I want to ask her. Found you, Mare?
見つかった。
But really, I didn't particularly look for her. That's because Mare is right here at the place where she and I met for the first time. The very place where Yume and I once looked at the stars together.
何か用？
Yeah.
何の用？
The Astral Circle had a stargazing session until just now.
ふーん。
You didn't come,
う
though.
ん。
I really would have enjoyed having you there.
ふーん。
Well, just make sure you come next time
い
around.
や、
Let's do some stargazing together.
いや、
You know, I'd love to look up at the stars together with you.
バカバカ。
Hey, Mare. Hesitate before getting into it. Does Mare know the lookout girl? Does she know the girl called Ototsu Yume? Mare. Why is your face almost a mirror image of the young Ototsu Yume's?
聞くべきかどうか迷ったときは、聞かないべきよ。聞くべきか迷うような質問は、少なからず相手の心の内を覗き見てしまう恐れがある。もし軽い気持ちで覗いてしまった場合、その責任を負うなんて考えもつかない。見られた方は責任を取ってほしいのに、一緒に悩んで、一緒に怒って、一緒に泣いて。だから軽い気持ちだったら聞かないべきよ。その方がお互いのためだから。どうしたの？
Nah, forget it.
今夜のあなたはダメダメね。
I want the
そ
night.
れにバカバカ。
Maybe, yeah.
私に用があるんじゃないの？
I'm gonna see Yume. Tomorrow is the date. That is what Hisaki and Cosima scheduled me for. So when I asked Mare before that, if there was some sort of connection between Mare and Yume, I would know beforehand. However, not asking your best for birth parties, huh?
何？
Brace yourself, for this time I'm convinced I ought to ask this.
何のこと？
Well, you were the one who said it. When that time should inevitably come, the other would bring it up of their own accord, even if you kept quiet.
何のことなの？
You better be ready for what's coming.
人の話を聞いて。
I remember the memory you reaped.
お、
I remember the lookout girl's name.
そう。
Yeah.
ようくんはよかった？
I am.
そう。じゃあ私がまた狩るって言ったら怒る？
Your question?
怒るんじゃないの？
Because I can't really tell unless it actually happens.
なってみてもいいの？
Not really, honestly.
買ってみていい？
I'd rather you not.
また彼女の名前買っていい？
I'd rather you not.
そう。じゃあよかったね。思い出せてよかったね。
Shamk. Two stations on the train, followed by a roughly 10-minute long walk. With that, I arrive at my destination.
この病院に来たのは何回目？
one time they have cheated me examined, and another 2 times owing to your injury, so that makes the 4th time.
小ヶ坂さん自身の要件では初めてですか？
Guess so, yeah.
ついでに診察も受けていったら？
Unfortunately, I didn't happen to catch a cold or anything. This hospital their father works at has 3 stories and is separated into 2 wards. The majority of what the central ward handles is outpatient checkups. Emergency situations and formalities for hospitalization are also handled there. As for the west ward we are heading to, it is examination rooms for patients deemed in need of long-term medical care and operating rooms. 2nd and 3rd floors are dotted with hospital rooms.
先方には伝えてありますから参りましょうか。
小ヶ坂くん、病院では静かにね。
Tell me that I know.
お見舞いも静かにね。
I'll reply straight away. Can't imagine what I will think and feel upon finally seeing Yume again. Incidentally speaking, I refrain from bringing eye drops for fake tears.
この病院の入院患者はそんなに多くないから、お父さんは患者の名前を把握してたみたい。それでなくても、お父さんはユメさんの担当医みたいだけど。
ゆめさんは患者とは思えないくらいおてんばだって言っていましたよね。
That definitely lines up with my memory.
他の患者に比べれば若いものね。病室でじっとしていたくないって気持ちは想像つくわ。
患者はほとんどがお年寄りで、若い方でも30代だそうですから。
なのに、ゆめさんはまだ10代で病院暮らしをしているんだそうよ。
Has she been hospitalized for a long time?
詳しくは聞いてないわ。7月に道外の病院から転院してきたそうだけど。
So she really was outside of Barikasuki. Did she, get injured really badly or something, or is it a type of illness? Sagaki and Kosuma exchange glances. He said the West Ward handles patients with serious conditions, right? Since they have her here, does that mean it's something really serious?
わからないわ。
そういった情報は家族ならまだしも無関係な人には知らされませんから。
お父さんに聞いたって答えてくれないでしょうね。
I reckon questioning doctors or nurses about this is a futile attempt. And directly asking her isn't that easy either. However, be it injury or disease, I still can't really see it being all that bad. After all, I'm fairly positive that I've run across Yume outside several times. I'm nearly 100% positive it is her that I saw. So to be precise, me visiting her now won't amount to a reunion. It's because we've already met again. Yume's condition is one that allows her to walk around outside. I don't know why she is hospitalized. However, it isn't the kind of condition where it would keep her confined in bed. She was so cheerful and full of energy as a kid, so I'm positive she'll recover in no time. We traverse the passageway that connects the 2 wards and arrive at the West Ward. Unlike the Central Ward we passed through to get here, it is almost deathly silent here. Compared to the noise of the Central Ward, the reception and lobby are located. Whether the reception and lobby are located, this place is like a different world. We come to a halt in front of a hospital room on the 3rd floor. The nameplate reads Ototsuyume. Hisaki and Kosume say that Yume has been informed of the visit and leave it at that. It looks like they're allowing me to be alone with her. On the one hand, I'm grateful for their consideration, but on the other, that is slightly embarrassing. I step inside the room, feeling the pounding of my heart and the anticipation. There's a private hospital room. Fairly small one at that. God, I wish I had a room. I wish I'd have had a room like that during my stay. All the way in the back, you can see a large window. In front of the window is a table, 2 chairs, and a TV. Well, there's a washstand on the right side of the door. In front of the washstand's mirror is a vase full of flowers that I don't recognize. The whole room is white. White curtains, white walls, white bed sheets, and mattress. There is a girl in that particular white bed. She is sitting upright. Sheets partially pulled over her. Through the pajamas collar, I can see her skin, as clear and as fair and clear as fallen snow. That skin feels more beautiful to me than any other white in this room. Her body is slim. There are no bandages or casts. She doesn't appear to be injured anywhere. However, her pale, slender body feels almost fragile in a sense.
私と遊びたくなったらいつでも言ってね。私は君と一緒にいるのが好きだから。
Her eyes now fixate on me. While her overall image comes across as fragile, her big round eyes, at the very least, are brimming with life. There's a certain charm to that imbalance.
じゃあ約束ね。私たちは必ず再会すること。この展望台で必ず再会すること。織姫と彦星みたいに離れ離れになっても最後にはちゃんと二人は再会すること。そして再会したら結婚すること。結婚して私のお尻に敷かれること。君は
There's no mistake in it. It really is her. I've already encountered her several times since I got back to Ibarigasaki. She's the lookout girl from my memories. My past self, still somewhere inside of me, is heavily reaffirming that, which is why I readily assimilate it as fact.
びっくりしたな。びっくりした。いきなり入ってくるんだもの。
Finally realized my mistake. I forgot to knock due to nervousness.
君が小ヶ坂陽君？
Feeling flustered, I opened my mouth to answer. Yeah. I mean to say more, but my dry throat isn't working.
久垣先生から聞いてるよ。あ、久垣先生っていうのは私の主治医なんだけど、今日はお客が来るからって。君、お見舞いに来てくれたんだよね。
Give a few quick nods in reply.
やっぱり、ありがとね。
I shake my hand left and right in an expression if there's no need to thank me.
座っていいよ。そこの椅子使っていいから。
Walk over to the chair, stiff as a robot, and sit down. Just how much longer am I gonna let this nervousness get the better of me? I mean, Yume is acting perfectly normal. She is acting so perfectly normal that it is almost weird. To be honest, that is a tad frustrating to me though.
私、この病院に来て初めてだよ。お見舞いされるの。だから、ちょっと嬉しいっていうか、恥ずかしいかな。変な感じがするかも。
She is able to speak so normally and fluently. She really is acting perfectly normal. It is just a normal everyday occurrence. I don't think it would be strange for her to display a bigger reaction given the situation, like getting surprised or reminiscing. Wait, she hasn't forgotten about me, is she? Do you mind if I ask her a question? You are Yume, aren't you?
そうだよ。おとつ夢っていうの。
You remember me at all? Kozakuyo ring a bell at all? We played together, you know, for about a month back in elementary school.
遊んでた？
Yeah, up at the lookout, just the two of us.
展望台って？
Well, there's a lookout on top of the hill, right?
坂って、学校の通学路になってるところ？
Yeah, that's the one.
あそこの上って展望台があるんだ。
Have you forgotten?
忘れたって？
This conversation is going the exact opposite of how I thought it would. She knows it's gonna be a case of she knows she doesn't have long, so she's acting dumb in the hopes of that cutting contact. Or something like that. Like she didn't actually forget. She's just acting, isn't she? I can imagine the worst case scenario. I'm beside myself with anxiety.
そういえば、まだ君は
Whoops.
なんで私のお見舞いしてくれるの？
Told myself repeatedly that there's no way she could have forgotten. Never called all this time, so she couldn't have. I protected these memories so dearly and never let them fade. Held them tightly in my heart all these years.
私、君とは今日が初めて。
Well, 7 years ago. I'm afraid to hear her following words and thus cut in. Her eyes blink in surprise. 7 years ago, I used to live here in Ibarigasaki.
そうなんだ。
But then I moved away from here to an urban city due to circumstances with my mother's work. This July, I returned to Ibarigashiki. The very first thing I did right after coming back was set out to go find you. However, my initial efforts were fruitless, so I've been searching for you ever since. The whole time up until today when I finally got the chance to see you again. There was a point when I'd just about given up, however. There was a friend who gave me a push on the back. Some of my other friends helped me search for you after that. I'm really grateful to all of them. After all, I was able to find out where you are, and I could come here and finally see you again. You really don't remember? The hope was crumbling right before me, but I desperately clung to it anyway. We had a promise that day to look out right before I left. It was Tanabata, and I promised each other we'd see each other again. After that, we'd so swallowed out a continuation of that. Please tell me you remember, Yume?
多分それ人違いだよ。
Yume looks at me apologetically and goes
だって
on.
私この病院に転院してきたばかりなんだよ。ひばりが崎には初めて来たんだよ。
She lays it out clearly for me.
あら、意外と早かったわね。
てっきり面会時間ギリギリの夜8時までかかるものだとばかり思っていましたのに。
You were waiting for me?
まあ、私たちも気になってたし。
夜になるようなら帰ろうって姉さんと話していたんですけどね。
感動の再会だったんでしょ。小笠坂くんのことだし、目薬の演出も抜かりなかったんじゃない？
I like the fact they apparently know him well enough to know that he planned that when he first came
ゆめ
here.
さんとはどうでしたか？積もる話がたくさんあったんじゃないですか？
I look back to the hospital. From here, you can't really see the west ward, which faces the sea. Something I'd like to ask
なんで
you,
し
Joe.
ょう。
You was transferred to this
そう
hospital,
聞い
right?
てるけど。
今年の7月からだとお父さんは話していましたよ。
小笠坂くんが引っ越してきた時期とちょうど同じね。
Do you know when she used to be hospitalized before?
お父さんに聞けばわかると思うけど。
I'd ask you for another favor. Could you try and ask him?
何かあったんですか？
No, something.
ちょっとなんて顔してないわよ。何があったの？
姉さん、むやみなせい。
悪趣味だって言うんでしょ。別に無理に聞き出すつもりはないけど、でも相談に乗るくらいはいいんじゃない？
友達としてですか？
部活仲間としてよ。
私たちは仲間であり友達ですからね。
礼なんかいらないから人思いに相談しなさいよ。
Can I take up on that some other time? Skaki shrugs his
ゆめさん
shoulders.
がどこの病院から転院してきたのか、昔ゆめさんはどこに住んでいたのか、とりあえずそれを知りたいのね。
Catch on fast. Thanks. As a kid, Yume had a period where she played with me. It follows that she should have been living here in Ibarigashiki at the time. If possible, I want to confirm that. I want to prove that Yume and I know each other. Without that, I feel like I'll collapse under the immense pressure of this anxiety. I feel angry at myself for feeling so uneasy, despite the fact that I was absolutely convinced she was the Yume I know the moment I saw her. I mean, it's not like I never imagined she could have forgotten me.
他にも手助けが必要でしたらいつでもご相談くださいね。
Oh, because of me.
へい。
She japs me.
変なお礼はいりませんからご相談くださいね。
小雨より私がびっくりしたじゃない。
Izakaki.
そんなお礼なんかいらないわよ。
But I didn't even say anything. This time it was problematic for me that she catches on a little too fast. As I lay spread eagle on the ground after receiving her kick, I could see the evening star that shines in the sunset by itself. This evening star is the one Yume and I looked for together as kids. In that moment it appeared fragile to me, almost like the Yume of now. Same here.
何？パカパカ。
Come on, don't call me that. I'm not a horse.
バカバカ。
Someone's in a sour mood today, huh?
別に不機嫌じゃないわ。
Contrary to her claim, her face looks a good 30% huffier than usual. Are you mad at me?
どうして？
Well, because I called the lookout girl's
展
name.
望台の彼女って誰だっけ？
It's Yume. Her name is Otosu
そ
Yume.
う。
Actually, I went and saw her today. So Yume again, finally.
その割に嬉しそうじゃないのね。
Mayor draws a little
ず
closer
っ
to me.
と会いたかったんじゃないの？ようくん、その子を大切に思ってたんじゃないの？
As I keep quiet, she comes even closer. She's looking up at me from close range. I embrace her.
ふう。
Mayor's face boils over in an instant. Ow! I just wanted to hug you. Clunk. That freaking hurts, goddammit. That shaft's sharp-ended.
うるさい変態くん！
This time she points the blade at me as I run away. Man, I am seriously emotionally unstable right now. I guess that was just how big of a blow it was to me. You may have even forgotten about me. And it goes beyond that. She said this was the first time anybody got Gasaki. Does that mean she's forgotten even the very fact that she once lived here? Or is it that I've mixed people up into Yume I saw isn't the Yume I know?
今夜のあなたはバカバカバカバカね。
I've reached peak dumb-headedness
背
now.
中を見せたらざっくり誘うかな。
Yeah, please don't do that.
ようくん、その子と出会えて舞い上がってるの。
Yeah, that was the case right before I'd met her. It's honestly more like the opposite now.
悲しいの？
I'd say so, yeah.
私のせい？
Nah, you did nothing wrong
じゃ
there.
あ、その子のせい？
I wouldn't quite say it's hers either. These mood swings are all the result of my own expectations. When I went to visit Yume earlier today, well,
うん。
she didn't remember me. God, that must have seemed like a real clown. Getting my hopes up without good reason. Getting so excited, so antsy, only to have it all come crashing down.
うん。
I've never told you this, but see, Yume, she looks almost exactly like
う
you.
ん。
Back when she was younger, she could have easily passed as a twin. Mira doesn't answer anything. Well, that's the only appearance. Her personality is completely
そ
different.
れで、期待してたの。
There's a hint of anxiety mixed into her tone of voice.
私がその子に似てるから。ようくんはそんな私と出会ったから。だから諦めなかったの。彼女ともまた出会えるって。その子もようくんのことを覚えてるって。
Yeah, I guess that's what we should just go with for the time
う
being.
ん。
What's got you all sullen all of a sudden?
別に。
Did I do something bad?
うん。
Was it? Can you tell
バ
me?
カバカ。
Trying to steer away from the subject?
私も悪いことしたかもしれないけど、彼女のことを諦めなかったのはようくんのせいだから。
I don't really
わ
get
か
it.
らなくていいわ。これはあなたとの約束の話じゃない。私と彼女の約束の話だから。
今日も来ると思ってたけど、やっぱり来たわね。
面会時間が始まる午後1時の5分前ですね。
That's what I was going for.
神社の手伝いの時も、そのくらい正確に来なさいよ。
こんにちは、ようちゃん。
So what are you doing here? In addition to Izakaki and Kosame, she is here too.
それはもちろん、みんなで悪女と対決しに行くためだよ。
I don't want to hear that crap from a little punk like you who just tagged along for fun.
ちなみはいたって真面目だよ、お兄ちゃん。思い出の美化を利用され、さらにかどわかされる前に。 ちなみはお兄ちゃんを守ろうと今ここに馳せ参じた所存なんだから。
And fight!
別にお兄ちゃんと対決したいわけじゃないから、クリクリに早くもちなみギブアップだよ。ようちゃんがよかったら一緒にお見舞いしたいなって思ったんだけど。お兄ちゃん、ゆめさんと再会した時のことちなみに教えてくれないし。私もちょっと気になるかなって。
I still laughs with embarrassment.
小ヶ坂くん困ってるじゃない。相手は病人なんだし、大勢で押しかけるのは賛同しかねるわね。
その割にこももちゃんたちも来てるじゃない。私たちは小ヶ坂さんに頼まれていたから待っていたんですよ。
ゆめさんがどこの病院から転院してきたかお父さんに聞いたから伝えに来たわよ。
Thanks, Tonito.
早速お聞きになりますか？
Yes, please.
何の話？
小ヶ坂くん、ここで話すと皆星さんにも聞かれるけど。
I don't mind her hearing.
ようちゃん。何の話か知らないけど、ちなみも一緒に聞くね。
Hello, Aunt Chino. I would appreciate if you could come and pick up Chinami.
いくらちなみだけ天国に入ってないからって毎度の仲間外れにそろそろめげそうだよ、お兄ちゃん。
Okay, fine, you can stay, but in exchange, not a peep of this to the others. You got it?
それは愚問だよ、お兄ちゃん。ちなみ成分は友達思いだけじゃなくお兄ちゃん思いも含まれてるからね。
With that, we all attentively listened to what Izakaki and Kosame have to say. According to them, Yuma was previously the hospital located in the same city we used to live in. I asked them for the exact address, and coincidentally enough, while it was in a different district than the one we were living in, the hospital was a mere 30-minute ride by train from our place. It is crazy to think that she was so close all that time. I was absolutely convinced that she was hundreds of miles away. Back to Izakaki and Kosume's information, though. It seems they weren't able to find out how long she's been at that hospital. As for where she used to live before she wound out of the hospital, that remains equally unclear. Apparently, they did inquire about her disease, what her disease was, and when she first ended up at the hospital, on the off chance that he'd tell them, but instead they just got reprimanded. He told them those weren't the kinds of things they ought to be asking out of plain curiosity. But regard to myself, it goes beyond that. But I absolutely agree with their father on this one and apologize to Izakaki and Kosame.
どうでしょう。お役に立ちますか？
Yeah, later on down the road it should.
なんとも言えないってわけね。まあ、わからなかった部分は本人に聞く以外もう手はないと思うけど。
She is right. Many private stuff, but some of it at least are things I can definitely ask her in person. It now depends on me and her.
込み入ったお話するなら私はようちゃんについていくのをやめておくよ。ちなみも本当はついていきたいけどお兄ちゃんが困るなら引き下がるよ。お兄ちゃん思いの成分がうずくからね。
I'm really grateful for all they've done in helping me look for Yume. This gratitude is entirely genuine and heartfelt. Give me a little more time. Promise you all I'll introduce you to her someday. After all, I want Yume to become friends with them too. So I want to talk with her alone if that's alright. Truth is, I'm spurred by uneasiness. And isn't Yume in this hospital a different person from the girl I used to play with? Anxiety rises inside of me to the point that I begin to wonder whether she really exists in the first place. Even as ludicrous as a thought as it is, the idea that she might have been just an hallucination of my younger self also surfaces. If I'd have forcibly suppressed those sorts of thoughts.
ようくん。
As I enter the room after knocking on the door, I find Yume not on her bed this time, but standing by the window.
また来たんだね。
Would you rather I not?
ずっと暇してたし海の景色を眺めるくらいしかすることなかったしだから来てくれて嬉しいよ。
Those words of hers are enough to make me feel gratified. Quite frankly, like he could have just immediately been like, you know, I'm not buying the whole like you don't remember any crap when you walked up to me at the fucking some goddamn shrine festival like I really turned into a mall student. Like, that was not a fucking hallucination. If it was like once, sure. Twice? I guess. 4 times? No. No, at that point it's not an hallucination. Let me guess, people don't let you walk out of the hospital anymore because you kept sneaking out, eh? Come on. Come on. Don't try to bullshit me now.
座って。私もベッドに戻るから。
Urged by Yume, sit down in the same chair as yesterday.
なんとなく今日も来るんじゃないかって思ってたんだ。
You did?
そうなの。
What made you think
昨
so?
日の君、話し足りなそうな感じだったから。だけど何をどう話せばいいかわからなくて、早めに席を立ったように見えたから。で、今日はそのリベンジ。違う？
Then hear the clattering sound of a medical cart being rolled through the hallway outside the room. The sound fades more and more the moment it is fully gone. Yume speaks again.
ようくん、私に遠慮してる？
So the question makes my heart skip a beat. Does it seem that way?
そう見えるよ。
How so?
だってようくん、言葉を返すまでに間が空くから、何か迷った感じで。リベンジするんじゃないの？
I breathe out heavily. You really don't remember me, right? Me and the memories we made through gazing up the stars together at the lookout.
覚えてないよ。覚えてない。
Honest gotcha status, I might as well fucking get myself admitted to this hospital for schizophrenia as well then. So, you don't deny the possibility of us having met in the past, huh?
あ、間違った。出会ってないよ。出会ってない。
Yeah, she's so bullshitting. She's so bullshitting. You're sounding kind of fishy there.
怪しくないよ。怪しくない。
There's no I actually remembered after you went home yesterday or something.
そんなわけないよ。そんなわけない。
You sound real suspicious, you know that. Hearing that, Yume gets huffy with me.
お姉さんの言うことが信じられないの？
How do you know you're older than me? I don't think I ever told you my age. Not yesterday nor today. So if you know that you're older than me, that can only mean one thing.
そうじゃないよ。
She heaves a sigh that seems ridden with
君
exasperation.
のことは久垣先生に聞いてたから。坂の途中にあるひばり校に通ってて2年生だって。だから私は君よりお姉さん。わかった？私と君は昨日が初対面。お姉さんの言うことが聞けない？
Oh no, I can't say I trust your word.
なんでそんなに意固地なんだろう。
That is, of course, because my memories are precious to me. I heard you transferred to this hospital back in July.
そうだよ。
You and I saw each other during that month, don't you remember? Not just in July, I also saw you at the beach and at the summer festival back in August too. You don't remember that either? Is that the truth?
本当に覚えてないよ。
Oh no, I just can't buy
お
it.
姉さんの言うことが聞けないの？
I can't not, honestly.
私の前でだけは素直だったのに、昔は。
Did you just say in the past?
言ってないよ。言ってない。
Wow, she's just fucking up so much and just blatantly too stubborn to just admit defeat. Because, like, how the fuck do you recover from saying that? You don't recover from that. You can't recover from that. Except trying to bullshit your way through by saying, no, I didn't say that. You have no proof. Show me the evidence. Oh, he just pulls out his phone that way he recorded the whole conversation. Can't possibly be any more fishy. So you're stuck in the hospital, right?
そうだよ。見ればわかるじゃない。
But you can also go outside the hospital, can't you?
は出られないんだけどね。
I regret asking you a stupid question like that.
もうそうじゃないよ。
She smiles
勘
like
違いだよ、それは。別に病気が悪くなったとかそういう意味じゃなくて、私が勝手に外出してたら怒られちゃって、それで目をつけられちゃったの。久垣先生って普段は仏様みたいだけど、怒るとすっごく怖いんだ。だから陽くんが気に病む必要はない。わかった？
Really?
本当だよ。
I don't know if you know this, but Dr. Isakaki's two daughters, they're both friends of mine and we're in the same grade level at school. They said you were quite the troublemaker for a hospital patient.
その娘さんって私は会ったことないけどお父さんから聞いたんだろうね。
So you were walking around outside him
ち
though
ょっ
you
と
just
ひばり
transferred
ヶ
in?
崎を歩いてみたくなって。
I can see that. It's been a while after all.
あの坂も相変わらず長くて、じゃなくて初めて登ったんだけどね。
You totally stood out since you were walking around in your pajamas.
私の場合私服で病院歩いてる方が目立つから、見つからないように外に出るには仕方ない。じゃなくって、いくら私でもパジャマのまま外になんて出られるわけないよ。
Fucking, my goddamn. Ah, what the fuck? My fucking antivirus just popped up. Oh, there we go. Yume is now fully. Fuck. Shit, I've been spoiled. We've now been spoiled for a future outfit with. Curses. Glad we actually met in
会っ
town.
てないよ。会ってない。
You know the Milky Way, right?
何突然。
Does that mean you don't?
それくらい知ってるよ。常識だよ。
The name is derived from Greek mythology, where it is said to be the breast milk of Zeus's
それ
wife.
も知ってるよ。
But does it actually look to you like milk?
牛乳ってなんか子供みたい。
Yume giggles. Does it?
だって給食みたいだから。
What was your favorite lunch day, school lunch dish?
私は揚げパンかな。
What does the Milky Way look like to you?
私はよくんはどの星が欲しい？
Well, that one right there. The bluish white star that's really
私
shiny.
は白くて長いのがいいな。だって白いの揚げパンに見えない？ようくん、
Yume appears to be
ようくん
healthy.
がそんな汚い子に育ってお姉さんショックだな。
What do you
誘導
mean?
尋問じみてたから。
That wasn't my intention.
じゃあどういうつもりだったの？
Genuine, amicable curiosity. Just a simple getting to know each other better. It's only natural to want to learn more about each other, isn't it?
それでなんで天の川になるんだろ
Because I love you, buddy, Kazuki Starry Sky. I love you, buddy, Kazuki Starry Sky. Sky that you taught me about.
う。それも誘導尋問？
Nah, just my honest feelings.
君、都会から引っ越してきたって言ったよね。
Yep.
その頃に私と君が出会ってたの？
Right,
一緒に遊んでたの？
we did. She flashes me a bright smile, but it isn't a joyful, happy kind of smile. Instead, I can see the sort of cold, dry emotion. If I were to express it with one word, it would be
天
resignation.
の川って2000億個の星の集まりなんだよ。私たちが住む地球、その星を育んでくれた太陽を含むたくさんの恒星の集団、その銀河を横に見ている姿が天の川なの。そのことを人が知ることができたのは、天の川銀河の中心から届く私たちの目には見えない光、不思議な電磁波のおかげなんだって。
Annoying. Yume directs a cheery smile at me.
そういった電磁波を調べることを電波天文学っていうの。ようくん知ってた？やった。
She holds her index and middle finger to make a V sign.
私ね、昔一緒に遊んでた男の子がいたんだ。その子に負けないように勉強したの。その子は私より年下のくせに、私より星に詳しくて、星だけじゃない。いろんなことに詳しかった。だから、私がその子に教えてあげられたのは、キスのことくらいだった。まだ、目、開けないでね。開けたら絶好だからね。それで、悔しくて一生懸命勉強したんだよ。その子に逆に星を教えてあげられるように詳しくなったんだよ。
Why, that's...
君じゃないよ。君じゃない。だって、思い出の男の子は君と違って素直で可愛かったからね。今の君みたいに意地悪じゃなかったからね。
She smiles again. This time that smile doesn't contain an ounce of resignation or anything like that, but looks extremely joyful instead.
だから、再会のキスなんて絶対にしてあげないからね。今日も夢ってこと会ってきたの？
Yeah, I saw her at the hospital earlier.
お見舞い？
She's hospitalized in a neighboring town. You do understand what I mean by that, right?
バカにしないで。病院で暮らすことでしょ。
Yeah, they have to treat her.
その子、どこか悪いの？わ
Apparently.
からないの？
Not now. All I know is that she has something. I just don't
そ
know
の子
what.
から聞いてないんだ。
Yeah, she hasn't.
知りたくないんだ。
To be honest, I do actually.
じゃあ聞けばいいじゃない。
Whenever you're hesitating between two sides, asking or not asking, you're best off going with the latter. You yourself once told me that.
聞くべきだと確信したときは、相手が話す。
Yeah?
それはいつ？
I don't have a clue.
わからないことばっかり。
As pitiful as it is, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. There. Does it take one step towards her, Mare takes backs one step away from me. I'm not gonna do anything, I swear.
だったらいいけど。
She's still worried because I hugged her last time. Funny enough, I feel like we've been in this exact same situation once before. You know the Milky Way, don't you?
知ってるわ。夜空に見えるじゃない。
Fall's Milky Way can be seen serenely flowing through the night sky. It has a very slender figure. Compared to its beautiful, majestic summer counterpart. So what do you think the Milky Way is?
天の川は天の川でしょ？
What do you think it actually is?
正体？
Yeah? Do you have any particular theories or anything? Mayor tilts her head to the side slightly and then says,
織姫と彦星を離れ離れにした境界線？
I figured a kid like you would answer something like that, Mayor.
かーくん。久しぶりによくできました。
It has been a while since I'd had this near-death feeling. Motto lands on Mayor's head after circling above us.
かーくんが架け橋になって織姫と彦星を再会させるのよね。
Oh, not this dragon, but the actual magpies, the
他
birds.
に答えがあるの？
Grown-ups would give a more scientific perspective on it.
私はようくんより大人よ。
Really? You?
かーくん。 私は大人よ。
From just about anyone's perspective, she's clearly a kid.
私は大人の死神だから。
But Grim Reapers don't become
真
grown-ups.
似された。
Anyways, as I was saying, the Milky Way is actually the galaxy we live in, and we're viewing it from a horizontal
ふ
perspective.
ーん。
She sure doesn't appear interested. And it's thanks to the non-visible light that reaches us from the center of the Milky Way galaxy that people are able to figure that out.
つまらない答えね。
And your knowledge meets rejection.
目に見えないものなんて気にしたってしょうがないのに、人は人が見えるものでさえよく見ようとしないのに。
You might be right about that. I can clearly see
当
you.
たり前。
Don't you ever become invisible to me.
お
It's a promise.
いや、
Mare turns away from me huffily.
約束はもうしない。もう約束があるのに、これ以上は大変だから。これ以上は抱えきれなくなるから。
じゃあ探してた初恋の相手は見つかったのか。
Well, yeah, but she isn't my childhood sweetheart or anything.
再会できたんだよね。私たちもお手伝いした甲斐がありました。
俺は何にもしてねえけどよかったじゃねえか。
Well, there's still the problem that Yume herself was continuously claiming she didn't know me.
小ヶ坂が再会したんだ。俺も頑張らねえとな。
He says with a sigh.
アスカ君にも離れ離れになった幼女がいるの？
当時は幼女だったけど小ヶ坂と一緒にすんな。
Well, technically all that crap about me is slander.
昔一緒に遊んでいた女の子なんですか？
そうとも言えるけど小ヶ坂と違って別に初恋の相手じゃねえからな。
How many times do I have to keep telling you that she's not my first love?
アスカ君も誰か探してたんだ。
まあな。
どういう子なの？
Asuka doesn't reply.
俺のことより皆星が気になるのは夢って人の方じゃねえのかよ。
別に
無理すんなよ。お前らしくねえだろ。
もう、そっちこそおせっかいなんてアスカ君らしくないと思うけど。アスカさんも必要でしたら一緒にお探ししますよ。
いや、もう協力してもらってるしな。
From
ち
who?
なみちゃんだ。
You're searching for someone as part of the occult circle's club activity?
もともとが人探しのためのおかけんだったんだよ。と
Asuka then stands up. He leaves the classroom, almost as if telling us not to dig into it any further.
これ以上は聞かない方がいいのかな。小ヶ坂さん、今日もお見舞いに行くんですか？
Yeah, right after school's over.
それじゃあ、ようちゃん、
Asuka takes out a bundle from her
お
book
見舞い
bag.
の品、ゆめさんと一緒に食べて。
Seems there are some sweets made by Asuka inside. Are you sure I can take this?
もちろん。
Asuka then goes on, as casual as can be.
ゆめさんがようちゃんの友達なら、私たちの友達でもあるんだから。
Upon entering Yume's hospital, I find her standing at the window. It's alright for you not to be in your bed.
私、元気だから。
Well, you wouldn't be hospitalized if that was the case.
そうだね。ほんとそう。
Jiggles.
みんな大げさなんだよ。もともとそんなに悪くないのに。
Yeah, I could tell. You can even walk around outside and
早
stuff.
く軟禁から解放されたいよ。ようくんも久垣先生に頼んでくれない？
Absolutely, once you've recovered to the point you don't need to stay in here.
本当に元気なのにな。
I won't get back. You won't get back on your bed.
ようくんが座ったら戻るよ。
After confirming that I've sat down on one of the chairs, Yume also moves away from the window.
またお見舞い来たんだね。
That a bad thing?
悪いよ。うん、悪い。
I'll stop coming from now on if you don't want me to.
冗談だよ。冗談。だからそんなに落ち込まないでほしいな。
If talking exhausts you, I'll really stop coming. Yume directs a gaze down at her
若い
hands.
入院患者って珍しいんだって。私以外の患者さんはおじいちゃんおばあちゃんがほとんどなの。知ってた？
Yeah, my friends
久
told
垣
me.
先生の娘さん？
Yep.
私ね、中央病棟に行くとよくおじいちゃんおばあちゃんに話しかけられるの。みんな世間話が好きなんだね。それもね、嫌いじゃないんだけど。でも、ようくんとお話しするのも楽しいからね。
Found myself at a loss for how to
ようくん
respond.
にお見舞いに来てほしいってことだよ。
Really?
ほんとだよ。
Did you remember me?
それとこれとは別だよ。このようくんは意地悪だからね。
I'm really sorry I tried to trick you into giving yourself
本当に悪
away.
いと思ってるのかな？
Here, I brought you a gift for. I brought a gift for you as an apology. Show her the bundle I received from Osaho.
私に
Yeah, it's for you, Yume.
呼び捨て。
Yeah, I used to call you One-chan in the past, if I remember.
そうだよ。昔は夢お姉ちゃんって。
You just said in the past, didn't you?
言ってないよ。言ってない。っていうか、誘導尋問。
It was only incidental. I didn't mean to.
本当かな？
One of my classmates, also was her name, made some sweets and told me to pass them to you.
お友達が作ってくれたんだ。
Yeah.
女の子なんだ。
What about it?
ようくん、優等生になれたんだね。
I don't wonder what a criteria for a model student is. Or at least, can't see myself falling under what you regularly understand as a model
ようくん、
student.
食べたかったらどうぞ。
What about you?
私は、今はお腹いっぱいだから。
That's fine, you can save them for later then. I placed the bundle on the table.
気にしなくても食べていいのに。
Well, that seems kind of rude. They're meant for
で
you.
も、彼女さんが作ってくれたんでしょ？
No, also it's just a normal
我
friend.
慢しなくてもいいのに。
What is that supposed to mean?
ようくん、まだ優等生じゃなかったみたい。私の思い違いだったのかな？
What if you did?
ようくんは私のお見舞いに来られなくなるの。
The heck?
ようくん、彼女とか作らないの？
I'm taking it back here
好
and
き
that.
な子とかいないの？
What if I do?
私のお見舞いに来られるようになるの。
I've got a
どう
question.
ぞ、許しましょう。
Oops. What if the girl I love happens to be you? She makes a more downcast face for some reason.
それはね、とっても残念なことになるよ。
To what
よう
exactly?
くんにとって人生初の若手になるんだよ。
Actually, I've already failed the test before.
そうなの？
Yeah.
ようくん勉強得意だったのに。
Well, I guess you could say I've matured.
頭でっかちじゃなくなったの？
Pretty much, you
夏
know.
の夜の女王といえば何でしょう？
That would be Tanabata Sorihime.
全然変わってないじゃない。
Well, I'm just more knowledgeable about that than the average person when it comes to Tanabata.
どうして？
For you?
人のせいにするんだ。
No, I clearly meant it in a positive way. Starting with Tanabata, I studied up on astronomy because I wanted to tell Yume all about the stars to teach her about them. But it appears Yume herself also studied them. But that means she had the same goal in mind as me.
織姫ってね、ちょっとずつ動いてて、12000年後には北極星の代わりに輝く星になるんだって。星空の中心になるのは素敵なことだと思うけど、そうなったら彦星との距離も離れちゃうから会うのが大変になるんだろうね。織姫のお尻に敷かれてた彦星は最後には捨てられちゃうのかもしれないね。
Saying so, she smiles a little lonesomely. Saying that sight makes pain course through my chest. I think you might just be more knowledgeable than me about the stars now. On the one hand, it is a tad frustrating, but in the other, it also makes me happy.
病院暮らしでも勉強くらいはできるからね。学校の勉強はからっきしだけど。
You had to stop going to school?
そうだよ。
School?
通ったって言えるのは小学校の途中まで。
I mean, she's been hospitalized for quite a long time already. The fact alone speaks volume about the condition of Yume's disease altogether. Furthermore, if it was sometime during middle elementary, then she had to stop. When she had to stop, that only makes him wonder how she was even she was even used when we used to play together. Back then, she seemed perfectly healthy. And she was able to climb to that hill all by herself. I can hardly imagine a sickly kid handling that.
でもね、学校に通えなくても全然良かったんだ。私には家庭教師が2人もいたから。
Really no.
私が星のこと知りたいって言ったら、2人とも教えてくれたんだ。
I don't know about Yume's disease. I want to ask her about it, but I don't know. I just can't. It isn't the kind of subject I can just easily tread upon. What kind of people were these tutors of yours?
1人は私の祖母だよ。すごく礼儀正しくて物知りで、そんな人だったから、私はおばあさまって呼んでたの。今年の春に亡くなってるんだけどね。
Yume probably figures that will only make things awkward for me, so she moves on quickly.
だからね、ロマンチックな星座の神話はおばあさまから教わって、科学的な知識は妖精さんから教わったんだ。
You're a fairy friend.
すっごく綺麗な妖精さん。男性なのか女性なのかわからないくらいなんだよ。
I guess fairy was just what Yume called them were.
妖精さんとはひばりが崎で知り合ったから、今でもよく病室に来るよ。おばあさまとはまた違って物知りなんだ。
I thought you said I was the first visitor you've had
妖
here.
精さんのはお見舞いじゃなくて家庭教師だから。
And so you study together with this fairy person? Kinda like to meet that person too
妖
sometime.
精さんは選ばれた人間じゃないと会えないから難しいかもしれないよ。
You know, he tilted my head questioningly at that. Just before leaving, ask her just to make sure. Can I come again?
いいよ。
Her answer couldn't have come any more
よ
readily.
うくんは優等生になれるって信じてるから。
If that means she won't reject me, I'll gladly become a model student or do whatever else she wants me to. At the same time as today, alright?
私、軟禁中だからね。いつでもいいよ。あ、でも、外で検査があるときは留守になっちゃうけど、
Yes, but someplace else she means outside the
その
store.
時はここで待っててもいいし、そんなに長くかかるものじゃないしね。
Okay, I'll do that.
昔みたいに素直でよろしい。
Hey, Yume, you totally remember everything at this point, don't you?
思い出してないよ。思い出してない。
Well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
バイバイ。
If Yume see me off from her bed, I leave her room. Yume I've been talked to is the Yume I knew. There's no doubt in my mind now. On the other hand, I feel relief at that. But on the other, it makes me wonder why she insists on hiding it. Try to conjure up reasons why she might do so makes me start to feel anxious. As I walk out of the hospital, I feel sting in my eyes from the sunset's intensity.
Senpai,
After dinner, usually enough, Aoi comes up to me. What's wrong?
今日、テンクルを休みましたよね。
I didn't even realize it, but yeah, I guess I did. So occupied with visiting Yume, I totally forgot about the club. However, neither also nor Kosame touched upon it. I reckon they did so intentionally.
お兄ちゃん、テンクル休んでお見舞い行ってたの？
Yeah.
私にはサボるなとしつこいくせに。
Well, I wasn't skipping in this case. I had a perfectly legitimate reason for not
ユメ
going.
さんという人のお見舞いは連日しなきゃいけないほど重要な仕事なんでしょうか。ダメだよお兄ちゃん。気をしっかり持たないとまた子供の頃みたいにかどわかされちゃうからね。 やはり初恋の人だからでしょうか。
初恋は叶わないから初恋なんだよ。そんな無駄な努力にあがくより、もっと身近でお手頃な恋に目を向けるべきだとちなみは思うの。
それで初恋の人にそっくりなメアさんに流れたら目も当てられないロリコンです。
ダメだよお兄ちゃん。いくらユメさんにかどわかされたからってお兄ちゃんまでメアちゃんをかどわかしちゃう。
These two sure don't pull any punches. Yeah, I think I won't be coming to the club for a while. I'm sorry, I didn't explain properly.
明日もお見舞いですか？
That's the
私
plan.
に部活の出席を無理強いしないなら許してあげます。
I mean, I never forced you in the first place. Doesn't the fact that you feel this way mean you actually feel a bit guilty about skipping before?
ありえません。
Well, I gotta go now. See you guys later.
メアちゃんをかどわかしに行くの？
No, we're going to Stargaze. Going to see Mare once it gets dark outside was part of my daily routine way before I started visiting Yume. Say, Mare,
何？
how old are you?
死神に年なんてないわ。
Oh, come on, don't give me that. Just tell me already.
年なんてないって教えてるじゃない。
But I'm dying to get to know your
だか
age.
らないって教えてる。
Let's change the question then. How long have you been here at this
ずっ
lookout?
と昔から。
What year and month did you first come?
そんなの覚えてない。
Okay, supposing the two of us were to date. Clonk. What the hell? Mayor's tightly embracing the scythe she hit my head
変
with.
なこと聞くから。
It is just hypothetical,
でも
gee.
無性に叩きたくなった。
Mayor looks at me with
これって
upturned
何？
eyes. Just think of it as love.
私は殺人衝動だと思う。
I was just kidding! Don't raise your scythe in the
い
air!
やあなたもバカバカね。
Practically no day goes by without her calling me a dumbhead. Why does everyone else have yes? Why does everyone else have the nice fairies and I get abuse? Hold on, I didn't read that one. Practically no day goes by without her calling me a dumbhead. Anyway, back to what I was saying.
結局続けるんだ。
If the two of us dated, do you think it'd make me one of those lolicon people?
ならないわ。
Mayor denies decisively. That's a joy to
よう
hear.
くんなんかと付き合ったら私がショタコンになるじゃない。
Okay, rescind my previous statement. Literally how?
私の方がずっと大人だから。
Just about anyone would see it as the reverse, you know.
人の目には限界があるみたいだからしょうがないわ。本質を捉えきれないの。
And your true nature
大
is?
人のお姉さん。
Clunk. Okay, I'll give you that one. He just like gets hit in the fucking face like, okay, I deserve that one.
で、ようくんは子供で可愛くない男の子。
I don't even care
本
anymore.
当のことだから。
So you can perceive the true nature of people.
私は死神だから。
Grim Reapers must have some pretty high spec eyes.
ようくんよりはいいと思う。
Can you also view how long people have left to live?
そんなの見えないわ。私は悪夢を狩る死神だから。
So you can see the nightmares of
見え
people.
ないわ。
Kinda strikes me as not so good for a nightmare reaping Grim Reaper.
悪夢は見えないけど、目星ならつけられる。
Because those who have them are visibly suffering. And when she reaps the nightmare of someone, she might cry. Cry deep. Out of sight where no one can see. Though in my case, she cried right before me. Maybe you have a nightmare yourself. Don't know, the thought just kinda crossed my
知ら
mind.
ないわ。
Mare turns her eyes towards the slender ephemeral Milky Way of the fall sky. Countless stars twinkle around the large band. To which one of those do... To which one of those do the nightmares Mare reaps? Those nightmares of people here on Earth go back to?
死神は人の悪夢は狩るけど、死神の悪夢なんて狩らないわ。死神はそんな夢よりももっと大事なものを持ってるから、誰かと交わす約束の方が大切だから。ようちゃん、今日もこれからお見舞い？
The school over also asks me about my plans. Yeah, thanks for the sweets yesterday, by the
それは
way.
いいけど、あと今日は用意してないよ。
Well, that's only natural. I would owe you forever if you actually brought something every day.
そうなの？
Yeah, of course.
じゃあやってみようかな。
No, I seriously feel bad about it.
アスホさんの手作りスイーツで小ヶ坂さんを餌付けすればテンクルを欠席しなくなるかもしれませんね。
そういうつもりじゃないよ。
Oh, by the way, also.
わかってるよ。当分お見舞いでテンクル休むんだよね。
Our vice president has already seen right through me. I'm not quitting club or anything. I'll make sure to attend the Stargazing sessions we have on Friday.
なら許可します。
Also seems to answer me in a lonesome way, so I say, if you want, you can come see her together with me
あ
sometime.
れ？二人の方がいいんじゃなかった？
I don't know when exactly in the future it'll be, but I would like to introduce Yume to you. And her to you, of course.
友達になれるかな？
Someone like you, no doubt.
じゃあその日を待ってるよ。
Also accepts with a carefree smile on her face.
私は仲間外れですか？
No, not at all. You're also welcome to come along if you
ア
want.
スホさんのおまけですか？
I don't mean it like
それ
that.
ではその際は姉さんも連れて行きますね。
Yeah, that'd be great. If I invite Gina me, I reckon she will then invite Aoi. Well, nothing wrong with that. I ought to visit Yume with all the other Astra Circle someday. With all of the Astra Circle. And include Mare if possible. I can only imagine what Yume would think upon seeing Mare. And vice versa. Or maybe the two of them are actually already acquainted. I have to muster up a lot of courage to confirm that. Really love looking out the window, huh? Upon entering the room, I once again find Yume standing by the window and gazing outside.
外は好きだよ。空がよく見えるからね。
Love the nighttime sky, don't
星
you?
空だけじゃないよ。青空も好き。もし鳥になれるなら、昼も夜もずっと空を飛んでると思うよ。もし星になれるなら、昼も夜もずっと空に浮かんでると思うよ。
That sounds just like some idea out of you, to be
そう
honest.
かな。
Totally.
自由に憧れる真相の霊場みたいに見える？
Maybe if her personality was a bit more ladylike. Yume giggles and returns to her bed.
ねえ、ようくん。
What?
いつでも来ていいとは言ったけど、毎日は大変なんじゃない？
Nah, no, no.
他に用事とかないの？
Nope.
本当はあるんじゃない？
I'd never lie to you.
私のために我慢してない？
No, I promise him that.
もししてたら、お見舞い禁止にするからね。
Why?
なんでも。
I only nod and accept. You said I was your first visitor since you've come to Ibarigasaki, right?
そうだよ。私、こっちに入院するようになってまだ3ヶ月しか経ってないから。
All your friends and family are back there?
そんなところかな。
So why'd you come back to Barigasaki in the first place?
戻ってきたんじゃないよ。初めて来たの。
You're still going on with that?
何度でも言うよ。
Oh well, let's just go with that
こ
for
れから
now.
先もずっとそうだよ。
Your stubbornness hasn't changed either since back then. So what made you move to
ここがお
Barigasaki?
ばあ様のふるさとだったからだよ。
And you said she was tutoring you.
うん。院内学級みたいなのはつまらなかったから、代わりにおばあ様が勉強見てくれたの。他にもね、いろいろ教えてくれたの。そのおばあ様が春に亡くなって、ごたごたしてたのが落ち着いてから、ひばりが崎に戻ることにしたんだよ。
You just said come back, didn't you?
ようくん、私のお見舞いしたくないんだね。
Sorry, I won't interject anymore.
私、都会で暮らしてたの長かったから、ひばりが崎にも友達はいたかもしれないけど、私のことはみんな忘れちゃったんじゃないかな。
That's not true.
なんで断言できるんだろう。
Well, because I haven't forgotten. Although I forgot her name once, I've promptly retrieved it. Not even for a second did I ever forget that I knew the girl whose name was Yume. Though I don't know if I should just tell her that. She might ban me from coming. That fair person still comes to see her, right?
そうだね。でも、妖精さんはひばりが崎で知り合った人だから、昔からの知り合いってわけじゃないよ。
Is that the person also tutors you, if I remember correctly?
うん。年はそんなに離れてないように見えるし、友達とも呼べるかも。昨日もようくんが帰ってから遊びに来たよ。
That person knows a lot about astronomy, right?
うん。
Like, what are you getting taught?
人はね、星から生まれたんだって。いつだったかそんなこと言ってたかな。
Tilt my head questioningly. Is that supposed to be talking about how we technically exist because of our sun, which is a star? That seems fairly obvious, right? Actually.
私たち人間の体を構成する物質は、かつては宇宙の星々の一部だったんだって。だから、地球が誕生したての頃に隕石がたくさん落ちたことで、私たちも生まれることができたの。人はみんな、宇宙に浮かぶ星のどれかがふるさとになってるんだよ。
Sounds like something out of a fantasy
科
novel.
学的にも説明がつくらしいよ。天文学者の人たちが頑張って解明したんだね。私たちは宇宙の星に触れることができない。観測することでしか星のことがわからない。だけど、星の方は私たちに光をくれる。私たちはそれをメッセージとして受け取れる。科学的に言うと、電磁波だね。私たちはそれを調べることで、いつか自分たちのふるさとを知ることができるんだよ。
Sounds like something out of a science fiction
宇宙
story.
物理学の範囲みたいだよ。
Oh, even if we do find the star we came from, wouldn't that star already be long gone by now?
そうだね。星の光は長い年月をかけて私たちに届くから、受け取ったメッセージは何億年も前のものかもしれない。その間にふるさとはなくなっているかもしれない。だけどね、私たちのふるさとはなくなっても他のふるさとは残っているかもしれない。私たち人間とは違う存在のふるさとは残っているかもしれない。だって隕石はまだこの星に落ちているから。その隕石の中には地球上では見つかっていない種類の物質で構成されているものもある。
She sound like she's starting to. Just that sentence makes her sound like goddamn H.P. Lovecraft. Colors unlike any seen on Earth.
私たちを産んでくれた大昔の隕石とはまた違った新しい隕石。そのふるさとのかけらが新しい命を届けているかもしれないからね。あのね
As always, when I try to get some nice relaxation after lunch, enemy always ruins it with her hooting and hollering.
ゆうべちなみのところに妖精さんが来たんだよ。それで宿題見てくれたんだよ。おかげでひばりが崎に引っ越してから宿題の提出率が飛躍的にアップしてるんだよ。
Miss Fairy. Is this Miss Fairy the same person as you, Miss Fairy tutor?
ちなみさんのお友達ですか？
そうだよ、その通りだよ。ひばりが崎で知り合ったんだけど、私はちなみを見守るものって言ってたよ。
意味が不明。
Miss Fairy visited you last night?
そうだよ。
Someone like that come here last night?
私は知りません。遠い。
妖精さんはいつも夜遅くに現れるからみんなとは会ってないんじゃないかな。別れる時もいつも最後に「どうせ夢ですから」って言って忽然と消えちゃうからね。
要するに毎度のちなみさんの妄想じゃないでしょうか。そんなこと言っちゃダメだよ、お姉ちゃん。
That fairy thing is actually helping her with her homework. I honestly don't even care if it's an imaginary friend.
たとえ夢でも妄想でも妖精さんはちなみの友達であり家庭教師だからね。
代わりに宿題をしてくれる妖精さんなら私も一台欲しいです。
一家に一台あると便利な妖精さんだよ。
Miss Fairy is being treated like a consumer electronic.
ちなみさん、妖精さんのおかげで宿題忘れずに済んでるんですね。
妖精さんに教えてもらってちゃんと提出してるから先生に怒られないんだよ。正解率はいつも一桁だけどね。
I'm pretty sure that's still something you'd get scolded for. What came of your homework, Aoi? You're in the same class, which means you also had homework to do last night, right?
別にどうもしません。お姉ちゃんが勉強してるの見たことないけど。お姉ちゃんは陰で努力するタイプだから。
Good joke.
ちなみと一緒に褒められて追加の宿題もらってたよね。
Didn't say with confidence that they were not praised or anything near it. You two better get back to your homes now to do something about that homework.
追加の宿題はこの際妖精さんの管轄にするつもりだからちなみには関係ないよ。
私も妖精さんに頼みますから、朝起きたら全ての問題が解かれているはずです。
Turns out this household fairy commodity degrades people to the point that they become hopeless, lost cases. Well, yeah, it's her fetish. Of course she would cause that. Say, Mare, you aren't human, right?
私は死神よ。
The Grim Reapers aren't human?
死神は死神よ。
And they're different from fairies too, yeah?
妖精？
Some like a nymph,
仙女？
some like a wizard.
仙女？
A person that possesses magical powers.
私は死神よ。それ以上でも以下でもないわ。
That is because I initially called her one. If I had said fairy instead when I first met her, she very well might be referring to herself as a fairy now instead. She actually doesn't know what she is. She knows nothing of herself and thus latched onto the idea of a Grim Reaper as a way of identifying herself. Humans might actually be similar in that case, in that sense. As much as we'd like to claim otherwise, we don't honestly know that much about ourselves. The knowledge we've procured with regards to our own existence is limited. In the same vein that Mare has no idea why she can disappear and reap nightmares, and like us humans, humans have no clue why we can do things like laugh and cry, unlike other animals. I mean, animals can laugh and cry. The difference between Mare and I is the difference in a man and a Grim Reaper. Surprisingly, that difference might be quite a small one. You're a genuine Grim Reaper.
何今更言ってるの？
I just said it because I want to. Don't think too hard about it.
変なの。ってなんで頭撫でるの？
Well, I did because I wanted to.
変なの。
You like this though, don't you?
好きじゃない。
You had to think about that, didn't you? And when I feel like giving you a hug, I'll do that too.
やったら刺す
You have to think about that too.
迷ってない
The two of us carry on just like that, and I keep stroking Mir's head for a long time under the starlit
ほん
sky.
と変なのヨウくんは変な人
It isn't clear whether that is an actual complaint. However, Mir doesn't move away from me. Today, Yume isn't standing at the window. She's lying in her bed and only lifts her body and meets my eyes to greet me. What's wrong?
どうって
Well, you're lying in your bed and all.
病人がベッドに寝てちゃおかしい
Oh no, if anything, it isn't entirely what you'd expect. However, every time I've visited thus far, Yume had seemed so spirited that I began to even wonder why she was in a hospital. Do you feel sick?
そんなことないよいつも通りの具合だよ
Summer has ended, and yet there is no trace of suntan on Yume's skin. Her skin, sheltered from exposure to the sun in this hospital room, is fair and white. It is a beautiful sight, yet right at this moment alone, it feels painful to look at. I'll leave if you feel too tired to talk.
普通だって言ってるのに
Can you talk without straining yourself?
それもいつも通りだよ
I just want you to push yourself and end up hurting yourself in the
そっ
process.
ちこそね
This doesn't have a thing to do with me.
関係あるようん関係ある無理にお見舞いしてるって私が感じたらすぐに禁止するからね
The way Yume is smiling all joyfully. It does seem like my worries aren't warranted. But I know that it takes a decent amount of energy to keep conversing with someone. Up until now, I'd already been making sure not to keep my visits too long. When I do want to talk longer with her, I have to show restraint for her sake.
ヨウくん我慢してそうな顔してる
You're just imagining.
我慢してお見舞いしてるんだったら来なくていいからね
That couldn't be farther from the truth, Yume. As long as I have the ability to see her, at times it's no matter. It is a trifling problem compared to all the time I wasn't able to see her at all.
ヨウくんこのひばりが崎で星見って知ってる
Yume asked me as if that just came to mind.
ひばりが崎の星空ってすごいんだよ私も病室の窓からよく見上げてるんだ海にも鏡みたいに映って天の川みたいにゆらゆら揺れてとっても綺麗なんだよヨウくんひばりが崎の星空を見上げてる
Yeah, I have to look out.
展望台
You remember it, right?
覚えてないようん覚えてない
Well, okay, but you do know that there is a lookout at the top of Mimi Hill, right?
そうだね
Well, it's off limits now.
そうだね
There is a tinge of regret in her voice. But you know, it's actually pretty easy to get around it.
入れるの
Yeah, you just go inside without permission and gaze at the stars. I just go inside without permission and gaze up at the stars there.
そんなことしていいの
Well, I guess I might be in for a bad time if someone catches me.
ヨウくん悪だね
Rascal, huh? I haven't heard anyone use that word in a decent while.
私は悪嫌いじゃないよ
Oh, really?
優等生になれる素質を持ってるからね
Seems like the exact opposite
展
to
望
me.
台今はどんな感じ
Just like it used to be. Nothing's changed there. Not the rustling of the wind, nor the smell of the vegetation. Nor the night sky that spreads wide above you. Sky absolutely brimming with twinkling stars. Everything brings me this sense of nostalgia. Takes me back to the memories I made with Yume there.
だったら手を伸ばせば掴み取れるくらい星が近いのも変わってないんだねどこよりも星とたくさん会話ができる場所なんだね
I think observe is the right word in that sense. In that case.
会話星の光はメッセージ私たちは望遠鏡を通して星と会話してるんだよ
But the way you phrase that implies we say things to them too. Instead, we'd have to send these meaning we'd have to send these messages to the stars as well.
ちゃんと語りかけられるよ。私たちは星にメッセージを届けられるんだよ。
Really, how? I brace myself for the coming fantasy-esque reply.
1970年代に NASA が瓶に詰めた手紙を宇宙に向けて打ち上げてるの。
Didn't expect that sort of answer.
おせちが電波望遠鏡から暗号文を送受信してるって話もあるよ。
What's SETI stand for?
光学的地球外知的生命探査のことだよ。
That's the kind of thing that would have Asuka jumping for joy if you heard
それ
about
に
it.
ね、そういう難しいことしなくったって、人間は自分で宇宙にメッセージを送ることができるんだよ。光を届けることができるんだよ。人だけじゃない。万物はみんな不思議な光を持ってるの。暖かい光をまとってるの。夜空の星と同じように。赤外線写真なら深夜でも風景を撮影できるのがその証拠。全部妖精さんの受け売りだけどね。うさんくさいって思ってる？
Yeah, kinda is what I'm thinking.
あと30年くらい経てば望遠鏡の発達で第二の地球が発見できるって言われてる。宇宙人を見つけるのはそう遠くない未来かもしれないよ。
Would you rather talk with aliens over
星
stars?
とだって会話したいよ。
How would that work?
今日も一段と輝いてますねって。
That wasn't talking about what you would
今
say.
後も変わらぬご愛顧をよろしくお願いしますって。
What are you doing? Trying to sell them something?
もしかしたらヨウくんはもう星様と会話してるのかもしれないよ。
Yume smiling impishly.
私たち人間は星から生まれてきた。宇宙人だって星から生まれてくるんだと。じゃあ星からこぼれ落ちた隕石、そこから生まれる命だってあるんだと思う。ねえヨウくん、有史以来地球に落ちた 100g 以上の隕石は2万個なんだって。そのうち世界で正式に確認されたものは2000個くらい。ほとんどの隕石は水星の塵だけど、稀に宇宙を長く旅した星のかけらもやってくる。そこには光が宿っている。未知の命が宿っている。ヨウくんはその誰かともう会ってるのかもしれないね。
What is she ultimately trying to say? I don't honestly know. She only smiles joyfully, not giving me an answer.
あのねお兄ちゃん、聞いてお兄ちゃん。
What, did you see a fairy or whatever again?
そうだよ、その通りだよ。でも妖精さん引っ越しちゃって今後は気軽に会えないって言われちゃったんだよ。
Okay, my that extra homework you mentioned yesterday?
妖精さんのおもてなしで忙しかったからどうもしてないよ。
Come on, you have to do these things.
お姉ちゃんは宿題どうだったの？妖精さんは来なかったけど小人さんが終わらせてくれた。
Great, now I has joined Chin and me.
おかげで今日は先生から追加の宿題をもらっちゃったよ。妖精、その時はぜひ私の宿題も選別に。
These two are steadily walking down the path of not getting anywhere in life. Now, Chinami is already on that path, just like she's basically already past the finish line. The only hope she had of this not happening is in her route that she ends up with fucking Yo or something. Quite frankly.
じゃあ私も何かプレゼントを用意しますね。妖精さんにも会ってみたいし。了解だよ。次に妖精さんに出会ったらみんなのこと伝えておくから待っててね。はい、楽しみです。それまでに宿題を貯めておくことにする。ちなみもそのつもりだよ。きっと妖精さんはクスクス笑って喜んでくれるんじゃないかな。
I can only hope these two hopeless cases won't also drag Suzuha down the same path they are walking. Would you say you love Hibarigasaki's Starry Sky, Mare?
別に
Ever talked with the stars?
ないけど
Would you like
りょ
to?
うくんできるの
Nope, can't. Would you like to try if you could?
別に
Yeah, to think about that.
迷ってない
Which stars would you like to talk with if you could?
お
Mare slowly looks up the fall starlit night sky.
晴れがいい
Which
りょう
ones?
くんが聞かせてくれた星
That's not about the stars you mean. Falls Ruhime and Higoboshi have already left their place and sent us. Stage can only be seen faintly twinkling low in the sky. Suppose they must be engaging in their respective sacred callings, working towards their reunion next year. Would you like to talk with Orihime or
どっち
Higoboshi?
もしたい
Anything in particular you want to say to
別
them?
に
What kind of stuff do you want to talk about?
どうして私を一人にしたのか
Huh?
え
Two of us tilt our heads in puzzlement.
私今なんて言った
So basically, stars have lives. Stars are actually alive, and Mare is Orihime Higoboshi's child or something. I take it now. That's just my theory now. Why did you leave me by myself?
私なんでそんなこと言うの
Beats me. Mare directs her gaze downwards. She then mutters those words entirely unconsciously. I guess she's considering them inside her mind right now, trying to make some sense out of it. Here's what I think. Maybe it's a clue regarding your lost memories.
そうかな
Positive.
私どうして自分のことがわからないの
It's either that you've forgotten or that you never knew to begin with.
最初から知らないなんてことあるの
Well, nobody remembers things from when they were around 1 or
それ
2.
は忘れたってことじゃないの
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, maybe so.
私どうして自分のことを忘れてるの
Maybe you got raped just like I did.
あ
But I eventually remembered again, so Mare, I believe you can still get your memories back too. Maybe not now, but someday,
そ
surely.
うかな
But I do. After all, even if you forget your memories, they still exist.
そうなの
Going by the law of conservation of mass, they'd have to, yeah.
何それ
It's a principle that states that the mass and quantity of chemical elements remains the exact same before and after undergoing chemical changes.
何それ
Basically, there's no such thing as zero. Even the vacuum contains
何
particles.
言ってるのかさっぱりだわ
Just think of it this way. Even though things look like they've changed, nothing really has.
わ
So even if you've forgotten, you can remember again. The memories you've lost still exist somewhere.
そう
Yep.
さっきからなんで頭撫でてるの
Well, cause I want to stroke your head.
バカバカ
Yes, I am, yeah.
じゃあこの気持ちもよくに撫でられる気持ちもこの気持ちも途中で生まれたように感じて最初から持っていたってことなの
Good
どうな
question.
の
Already now.
嘘つき。
Yeah, I guess I am one. It's like how the starry sky changes, people's sentiments also change. But maybe in the truest form, they remain exactly the same. Just like how Yume tried so hard to act older than she was in the past. How Mare called herself an adult despite her appearance. Maybe Yume is forcing herself to do what she is doing now, just like back then. Maybe Mare is doing just the same. These thoughts run through my mind. Class is over, I'm on my way to the entrance in order to make for the hospital to visit Yume when I ran into a familiar face.
やあ、これから帰りかい？
Nah, sorry that I'm not coming today
アスホ
either.
君から聞いてるよ。先方にお大事にと伝えておいてくれるかい？
Thanks, I'll be sure to tell her. Okazumi is completely understanding. He's a really nice guy, honest to God. Okay, he might go bonkers every once in a while, but every time aside from that. In my opinion, his forename Haruto, which means something like warm soil, fits him perfectly. I know someone that doesn't fit for. And are you on your way to the club room?
そうだよ。教務室でこれを受け取って、今から持っていくところさ。
The thing Okazumi has in his hand is the Astro Circle's symbol, the kaleidoscope music box. Oh, is it fixed again?
おかげさまでね。
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
皮肉のつもりじゃないよ。バネが飛び出たのを見たときは驚いたけど、恋じゃないと聞いていたし。それに、今はこうして治ったからね。
Looks like the parts that Mayor broke by battering away at it has also successfully been mended. Does the music box work properly now?
元顧問からはそう聞いてるよ。
Did you test it?
まだだけど。
We're not gonna try it out just to see. We're not gonna try it out just to see that it still doesn't work, are we? Worse yet, maybe that cursed voice will.
そんなことは。いや、あの先生はどうも修理に乗り気じゃなかったようだったし。
No boding atmosphere hangs.
これでもしならずにシンボルがついえたら、テンクルはまた廃部の危機に。
Wouldn't be a good idea to test it right now.
そうだね。
Okazumi winds up the key on the bottom. This begins to rotate, and the music box melody resounds. Oh, I feel like I've heard this tune before. Why the hell are you screaming like that?
久しぶりのシャバの空気だぜ。
The look in his eyes has changed to that of a wild
そう
animal.
か。ゆうべは視聴生がちらついたからな。そこに過剰な興奮で。
Looks like the drool is about to drip from his mouth any second now. Our stuck puzzle brings us in the clubroom, so I can't feed him one.
岡泉東堂、参上だぜ。
He is muttering something. Okazumi?
ああ、
He directs his glinting carnivorous eyes at me. Maybe I should turn around and just
この
leave.
俺様はあんたの言う岡泉じゃねえ。ハルトじゃなくて東堂だ。
Huh?
めんどくせえな。俺様が説明すんのか？
After making his neck crack, he
この
continues.
体はある特定の電磁波に過敏に反応するのさ。アレルギーみたいなもんだ。ハルトのやつが視聴生と呼んでる星の光のことだがな。そいつを浴びて何かしらきっかけがあるとご覧の通りってわけさ。
Yeah, I did just explanation I've just received. So basically, you have a split personality.
そんなところだな。同じ岡泉でもこの東堂様はハルトとは違うってわかればいい。
Shocking newfound truth. There were symptoms in the past, but I feel like I didn't want to directly come across it myself.
あんた、小笠坂陽だろ？俺様とハルトは記憶の共有に限度があるが、それは知ってるぜ。
Right.
あんた最近部活を休んでるらしいな。ハルトのやつが気にしてたみたいだぜ。ああ、あんたが休むのは 部長の自分が頼りないせいかってな。
That's not the case at all. It's for personal.
ハルトも探すのを手伝った夢ってやつの見舞いだな。
Exactly, and thankful to Okazumi's. After all, it's thanks to the Astro Circle that I'm able to see Yume again. It's none other than Okaizumi who protected said Astro Circle. I tell him what would normally be really embarrassing to say face to face like that. I guess it's because I feel like I'm talking to a different
テ
person
ンクル
entirely.
はハルトが入学した当時は廃部を検討されていたからな。それを撤回させるのにデモにシュプレヒコールに頑張ってやがったよ。俺様も一役買ったがな。
I respect Okaizumi and not once have I considered him an unreliable club
だ
president.
から気にするなって。
Yeah.
その言葉ハルトに届けばいいけどよ。
The guy who introduced himself as Todo says
行
this
け
and
よ
so.
見舞いがあるんだろ。
I'll show up for the stargazing sessions on
ハルト
Friday.
もあんたもわざわざ夜の屋上に出向いてまでよくやるぜ。何が楽しいのか理解に苦しむね。
Unlike
俺
Stargaze,
様はハルトとは違うって言ったろうが。
he scratches the back of his head.
だけ
roughly.
どまあ俺様とハルトは結局のところ本質は同じなんだ。認めたくはねえけど変わったようでいて変わってねえってことなんだ。だから天体観測なんぞは理解に苦しむがひばりが崎の星空は嫌いじゃねえよ。ここは視聴星もよく見えるからな。
Okaizumi leaves. His hand firmly grasps the music box. I can only wonder if he will go to our club room still in dodo mode. And a thing club like that. In that case, that seems like both Haruto and Todo really were Okaizumi. I have to say though, I'm curious how also the others react seeing him like that. Seems like you're feeling good today.
別にいつも通りだよ。
You were looking out the window all energetically, at least I thought so.
何それ、変なよーくん。
She's turning her face towards me with her hand resting on the
よーくん
window.
こそ今日はいつもより遅かったじゃない。
Yeah, I can experience something a little interesting.
よーくんの初恋の相手にでも出会ったの？
No. Funny you're asking that when my first love might actually be right before my eyes. My friends really seem to think she is since they love teasing me about it so much. As for myself, I'm still not quite sure if she is or not. However, supposing Yume is my first love, that in turn means I haven't experienced my first love at all just yet.
何？私のことをじっと見て。
Oh, nah, it's nothing. The person I ran into before coming here told me to tell you to get better
ありが
soon.
とう。よーくんのお友達なんだ。
Well, yeah. I had to stare.
そっちこそ女の子のパジャマ姿をまじまじ見てたのはどうかと思うよ。
You're always in your pajamas, though.
それでもだよ。
Yume giggles and returns to her bed. I heave a sigh and sit down in one of the chairs.
よーくん、このひばりが崎で星見をしてるって言ったよね。
Yeah, I'm part of the school's Astro Circle.
テンクル？
It's short for Astronomy Fan Circle. We still call ourselves a circle, but we actually leveled up to club status not too long ago.
よーくん、天文部に入ってるんだ。
Yeah, he high.
星好きなんだね。
All thanks to you, Yume.
そうなんだ。
Yeah, since you and I played together at the lookout so much.
私じゃなくって思い出の女の子ね。
You really are adamant about not admitting that, aren't you?
認めないよ。うん、認めない。
It'll only turn to a vain struggle if I tough it out, so I leave
部
it to
活
be.
動楽しい？
Yeah, that's really nice.
学校楽しい？
Yeah.
そっか。よかった。
She smiles cheerily. On one hand, her attitude seems the opposite of that from my memories, but on the other, it also appears to be the same nature.
よーくん、誰に優等生だなんて言われてるの？
Our
その
teacher?
人が諸悪の根源なんだね。
No way, he's a really nice
そう
person.
思わせるのがその人の狙いなんだよ。
Whoops. I just can't see that being true.
ダメだよ、ヨウくん。その人の還元に耳を貸さないように注意しないと。
Why are you taking him up to be? He's talking him up to be so bad.
先生なんてそういうものだよ。学校なんてそういうものだよ。
Do you not like school?
ヨウくん、
Hear my name being called, my consciousness is pulled out of memory lane and back to reality.
都会ではどうだったの？
Huh?
都会の学校でも天文部に入ってたのかなって。
No, this one is my first one.
じゃあ最初にしようとした質問に戻るね。ヨウくんはひばりが崎で星見をしてるみたいだけど、都会でもしてた？
Think back upon my past self. Back there, yeah, I think I did look up at the night sky every once in a while.
どうだった？
Honestly, pretty uninspiring.
そう言うと思った。私ね、
Human notes.
おばあさまに教わって天体写真を撮ってみたことがあるんだよ。病院の屋上でね、おばあさまから望遠鏡とカメラを借りて使い方を教わって、だけど写真に写った星はたったの2個だったの。織姫と彦星だけ。他の星も輝いているはずなのに撮れなかった。街の明かりが邪魔してね、撮れなかったんだ。
Even if the night sky is clear in the city, neon lights and smog dim out the stars. Unless the stars are shining as brightly as Orihime or Higoboshi, you can't perceive them. There's a multitude of stars visible here that you couldn't see over there.
あとね、写真は夜空のはずなのに真っ青に写ったんだよ。おばあさまはこれもやっぱり光害のせいって言ってたけど、私はその時ね、都会の夜空はひばりが崎の青空に似てるって思ったんだ。だから私は都会の星空も好きになれたんだよ。
It's all a matter of perspective, basically.
ただ都会だと流れ星が見えないから、それだけは残念だったかな。
Did you want to make a wish?
そうだね。
Yume makes a troubled, pained
だけ
face.
ど私はもう願い事をしちゃってたから、星の神様だっていくつも願い事されたら大変だと思うし、一度で十分だって思うことにしたよ。
Say, Yume. His expression returns to normal as she waits for my next words. She said you wished upon a shooting star once before. What exactly was that?
内緒だよ。
What did you wish for? What did you wish for?
それも内緒。ヨウくんに話してご利益がなくなって叶わなくなったら嫌だからね。
When you make a wish upon a shooting star, your wish comes true. I wondered if Yume truly believes in that power. I did too as a young boy.
水星なんかは昔から流れ星には
Whoops.
水星なんかは昔から妖精って呼ばれてて、協調の印みたいに言われてるみたいだけど、流れ星には願いを叶えてくれる希望みたいなのが宿ってるのかもしれない。そういう光が宿ってるのかもしれないね。
Have you ever made a wish upon a shooting star, Mare?
願い事？
They say that when you make a wish upon a shooting star, that wish will come true.
ふーん。
So I guess that means you haven't?
悪いの？
Nah, that's fine. But wouldn't you want to make a wish given the chance?
思わない。
Why not?
そんなの迷信に決まってるから。
Smile wryly. I'm positive I used to think that very same thing as a kid. Despite that, I did in fact make a wish. Of course, chances were it would... Of course, chances were it wouldn't come true, but just maybe it would. I wanted to cling to that minuscule, almost non-existent possibility, so I sent my wish up to the sky. That night sky, or rather now that I think about it, was probably still evening. Regardless, on that day I wished upon it, the first star to appear. As that shooting star streaked across the sky for what felt like an eternity, I prayed to it. Mare? Don't you have a wish, or just anything in general you want? There.
最近よく撫でられてる気がする。
Maybe, yeah.
どうして
Just because I want
バ
to.
カバカ。
Is it a wish for me to stroke your head?
違う。
You had to think about that.
迷ってない。
Well, I know how you feel. Being touched by others really makes you feel like you're not alone.
うん。
You aren't alone, Mare. Why'd you leave me by myself? The question she muttered towards the Tanabata stars might be making me feel uneasy in regards to who or what she is. You have me and all the others from the Asher Circle too.
バカバカ。言われなくたって知ってる。大体私は最初から一人じゃない。約束があるんだから。約束は一人では交わせないから。だから私は一人じゃない。だから私は決して約束を破ることはしない。
A month has passed since I was reunited with Yume. Okay, I don't know. It feels like a good place to end it here. So I've already been going at it for 3 hours anyways. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. To see you next time. Bye bye.